hop on in the realm of events and have a good old time today. Probably play some ranked at some point. I do have 99 trout I want to use again. If you guys did not see my tweet yesterday, I announced that I'm no longer no money spent on this game because I bought stubs for a YouTube video I recorded yesterday. And it wasn't meant to be anything more than just a joke. They're like, oh, I'm not no money spent anymore. And a lot of people took it a little deeper than what it was. It was just a tweet of me joking around saying I bought stubs for a video. And some people were looking very deep into it. And I was confused. But I have stubs. So maybe we'll do some packs. Have some fun with some packs at some point as well. So, yeah. Will you stop dodging you? No, it's not that I'm dodging you, Halo. It's just that I literally don't care to play you. I've played you enough and I've beaten you enough. I don't really care to play you again, you know? But yeah, like, I'm going to be real. It's partly embarrassing because of what the video recording process was like. But basically, I'm doing a video on my main YouTube channel. If you don't know the Scann channel on YouTube, I upload gameplay related content on there. And let me turn up the game volume. I'm planning a video where I use every cover athlete. So I want to do it in Diamond Dynasty. I want to get the cover athlete's best cards. At first, it was going to be starting off with like a lower overall team and then upgrading that team to the better overall versions of them. So I'd have like the 92 Ohtani, then the live series, then the reliever, then the 99. And at first I was going to do that. So I bought Ohtani. I bought Tatis. And I think I bought Bryce Harper too at first. I bought those, like, I bought cards that were expensive that you don't really need all of them on your team. It was just for this specific theme team. And then I changed my plan to using all of the cover athletes and like using one card at a time. So that required me to sell those cards, especially since those guys are the more recent covers. And I sold them, bought Vlad Sr. at a point, Bryce Harper again. Like all those other 99s and stuff for those cards. And all of the stubs went to waste because of the buy and sell orders in the market. And I'm not proud of it. From just the gaps that the cards have in their buy now and sell nows for those guys. And just me putting up the orders and like the tax that you have. The stubs that I bought freaking withered away. And I'm partially embarrassed of it. But like I had to get the video done. I wanted to just get it recorded and done. So right off, baby. And there's a lot of talk about like, oh, this game's so not the money spent friendly, blah, 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 blah. And I just bought the stubs to buy the chase pack cards that are honestly fine being expensive since they're some of the best couple cards in the game. And I bought all of them. And then I sold them like a doofus because I changed the idea of the video. Also, I still have the settings on from that video on, so we're hitting with zoom camera, baby. Also, I appreciate it, Smog. All right, you know what? Zoom hitting camera meta, chat. Hey, of course, Eric. For us, like the eSport ambassadors, like me, Yayo, Thuni, and stuff, we are dedicating our weekends to covering, keeping everyone transparent, keeping everything transparent with everyone. And it is a bit of work to handle all of that. But honestly, I mean, the real work is the folks really behind the scenes. You know, we communicate with the folks at SDS. Like we talked to Brev a bit, who's going back and forth. There are obviously people who are doing the behind the scenes with the tournament stuff. And I feel for them. Like, obviously, I don't want to say it sucks for us because we're dedicating the time and the tournament isn't happening. But it sucks for the players. It sucks for the people putting it together who are working in the nitty gritty. You know, at least for me, like, at the end of the day, if the tournament isn't going down, we still hang out, go live. You guys get your drops. We can make it work. I feel bad for them because I know for a fact the folks at SDS and PlayStation Esports were not anticipating problems. And it sucks when you got to deal with it and you got to work on fixing issues while trying to keep things moving forward quickly. So it's not ideal altogether, but I appreciate everyone who's been patient and, you know, at least understanding. I could understand the frustrations and dedicating time and the tournament not going down. I absolutely get it. So anyone who has been patient, all of that, it's really appreciated. Because it doesn't help on our end, like my end, for example, when you got to try to control chaos that's already going down, you know? Also, hello, Zero. Hello, Dunter. How we doing, dude? Honestly, Ghost, good question. By the time that time comes around, it might end up being someone not expected. Someone from season 1. It might end up being Trout, honestly. I don't know if I want a wild card chipper. I got David Wright today. I want to use David Wright, new MLB The Show legend, New York legend. And when season 3 comes around and Chipper gets out of lineups, I might just leave him out of the lineup just because everyone uses them. I like mixing up the team using different players, so I might just use David Wright at third and then wild card someone like a Trout. We'll see, though. We'll see who I'm really liking by then. I think the dimensions, Halo, are 330, 400, 315. I tried to, like, actually, like, I wanted Yankee Stadium somewhat emulated. So when Tater made me the stadium, I told him that. It's also not too high elevation. I think this version is, like, it's no more than 1,000. And it works because it's smaller dimensions. So you still get, like, good swing homers, especially down the lines. But I like it because the elevation isn't high. You do get those liners to the gap that are extra base hits, not homers every time. Otani's actually a good one, actually. Yes, you can always change it, cool. You can always change who the wild carded. You just don't need to lock it. All the wild card is one player that's in your lineup that isn't season eligible. But yeah, I appreciate it, Eric. I appreciate it. I'm glad because it's tough. It's partially tough to just go about this and try to steer things in a positive light. It is definitely not easy, so I'm glad that there's some sort of appreciation for that, because I know all of us are trying to make positive out of the weird situations with these tournaments, you know. Oh yeah, Judge does have a big boy strike zone, but he hits tanks. You lowered the elevation to 50? You're crazy. You're crazy. Judge's pee-pee poo-poo? Incorrect, but that's okay. We're all wrong at least once in our lives. Well, yes. 54 vision is not great in comparison to the other good cards in the game. But for the time it takes to grind that Judge, the level of contact and power and defense he brings, yes, he is going to strike out a bit. And in some instances, you might have a tougher time in rougher connection games keeping the ball fair because of the lower vision. But the 55 vision is not as big of a problem as some people make it out to be, in my honest opinion. It makes him amongst the best options in right field. And if had he not, at least if he had the absurd level of vision, it would probably make him too meta of an option in a sense that, you know, you get a card that you grind in that amount of time. Why would I ever go for Sammy Sosa, you know? He's so slow. I mean, it's enough. It's enough for a corner outfielder. If you play at a stadium like Laughing Mountain, though, you will notice it because Laughing Mountain has some pretty big dimensions. But I would just throw him in right and keep him there. Right field on average, I feel like is pretty tolerable in lots of stadiums. If for some reason you like playing at Fenway Park, maybe you throw him in left because he's a little bit of a slow boy. I do use a wired controller, Jord. I use the Power A Fusion controller. And it gets the job done. It's not like too expensive of a controller. It works on Xbox perfectly fine with the pitches and stuff. The only like downside to it, in my opinion, is that the sticks are very loose. So it's worthwhile considering getting something like a KontrolFreek Precision Ring, !KF in the chat, by the way. Use code Scann. And get that little foam ring on there so you have a little bit more precision with aiming your PCI and stuff, because I think it's tough to hit without it. What's my ranking? In terms of solo ranked and such, I am at 700 rating to start off the season. I have not played a single game yet. Got World Series last season. Played a little bit into the 900s, like 950-ish. I have not been playing that much ranked to play past that point, though. And same with co-op. Like co-op, I got to the 700s and didn't really want to force myself to play enough to make a World Series push. If I played as much as I did last year, I would absolutely be going for it, but it's a lot of time that's not really worth it for me. And not for the sense of the cards. Like, oh, it's not that the cards are worth it. It's just, it's not worth me playing that much of the game. I like spending my days grinding offline a bit, keeping up with content, working on set collections, and then dabbling in online when I want to try cards and get a little bit of competitive blood flowing. I appreciate it, BMO. I will say the thing that's nice with the esports stuff going on is that it does get me live in the weekends. For me, at least, my vision of streaming in the long run is just making things an event, having a special reason to be live every time, instead of like, oh, let me go live every day. And I've just enjoyed the process of doing YouTube. It's just so nice. Like, last night and yesterday, I planned a video, recorded the video. I recorded for 5 hours. With how I was doing content, I would have never recorded for that long. And, gonna work the next few days, starting a bit tomorrow. Probably get it done by Tuesday. Just cutting it up bit by bit, putting it together. And I just like the process more. It's just nice doing this YouTube side of things because I can get up from my desk throughout the day. I'm not sitting here at the desk all day in one straight sitting. And I think right now my favorite part about it is that I could plan like long-term YouTube projects. Like if you guys have been seeing me do blitzball out in my front yard, I'm doing that for like a video project. Like I'm putting together all of the days of me practicing and training outside. Bayfront at nighttime used to stink. And I'm going to put it into a YouTube video. It's going to be a YouTube video about me practicing and trying to get better at blitzball. So when I play blitzball, when I make the trip out to Seattle for the All-Star game, I actually know what I'm doing a bit. And it's going to be like highlighting that journey and do something a little different with the videos. Because it's fun to be able to do something that isn't just MLB The Show. I'm excited for it. And I would not be able to do that with how much I used to stream. And I do like streaming. I love the community we have on here. I love chatting with you guys. But it's also, there's a lot of other stress and things. And just in general, I feel like I just excel in the YouTube side of things more. Celtics, Andre Dawson. His cards used to slap back in the day. Not everyone knows about the legend of Andre Dawson. I can understand him not being, like, the most attractive option on paper, though. That I absolutely get, because there are a lot of great outfielders. But when some of those Season 1 guys get phased out, someone like Dawson could be real nice. Let's unlock Jeter W. Why am I using this camera angle? Honestly, I recorded the video last night. And in terms of YouTube recording, whenever I can, I like using these camera angles so you can see the player's stance. I just like it for videos and stuff. And I haven't changed the settings. Take this like a practice session. I'm trying to practice getting good with this camera, so I'm good with recording YouTube videos. I will say, like, I love hitting with strike zone when I'm competing a bit and reading the strike zone and all of that. But I like seeing the players' animations and seeing all of these things again. It's nice actually seeing them because you never see them in the more zoomed in camera. I just like it more aesthetically. So like whenever I can do it for videos, I try to. Throwback MLB The Show song here, by the way. This is like all the way back. God, how old was this song? I feel like this was back in like 07, like 07, 08 times. I don't even remember.
Nope, that's outside.
On the alt count, of course. Celtics, of course, of course.
1-1.
Oh, they were Halo. I will say I'm glad the contact players are really fun this year. Like Jeff McNeil. Craig Biggio is really fun. What I want to see, I want to see like a juiced 99 type player that's like got really, actually, no, I honestly like Rod Carew is probably the best example of that in season 1. But I want to see more of that. I want to see those players like I want to see like an Ichiro level player. I mean, Hannes Wagner's kind of that, I guess. Because players like that are very fun this year. Yeah, Luis Ariz, yes. Yes, indeed. Give me a 99 Wade Boggs. I know he's got the 96, so give me a 99 at some point. That man will be fun this year. Put Mauer last night and sold him for Trout, Ohtani, Judge. You got Jeter. W. Yeah, I bought Joe Mauer. And let me just say, when I first started to use him, like for my video I recorded, I did it in mini seasons. And my challenge with Joe Mauer was that, oh, Aaron Judge, you're him. You're him. I don't want to hear anything about him being slow. And I was playing on like lower difficulties trying to get 2 hits in the game with Joe Mauer, and I could not do it. I don't know why I was struggling so hard. But I'm also not someone, like last year I didn't love Joe Mauer. I liked his 92, but that was it. But, you know, if he drops down in price one day, maybe I'll give him a go. Because catcher's tough. Bought Mauer for mini season. Hey, listen, it's for the videos. It's not for mini seasons, okay? Then 1-of-1 Yoshida. Honestly, that's why I can only do 1-of-1 in like a year Celtics. I don't know how some of you guys just grind like that for multiple cards. It's insane. I mean, good for you. But I feel like, in my opinion, especially if you feel like you get burnt out on doing it, it's not worth going for. It's not worth forcing yourself to grind like that. Oh my goodness, he caught that. I could tell just with the animation he was going to catch that. Guess what you just got out of the closet? Hit me with it, Swan. Hit me with it. Give me drops, sir. Yes, sir, Mikey. Yeah, and someone was grinding Yoshida quick. I saw that. Someone else commented on the MLB The Show tweet. He was like, who got 1-of-1 Yoshida? Show yourself. Oh, no, I get that, Celtics. I get that. It's just insane. You know, and it's like with me, it's kind of in a sense like with me where it's like, obviously I'm solid at the game. I like playing online, competing a bit. But it gets to a point where you can only do that so much, where you start to get burnt out on it. It's so tough to get yourself to just keep playing like that. What was his timing on that? That was a perfect? Oh, I just don't have my audio loud. Did not sound like a perfect. I thought that was going to be like an early. Hey, fair enough. I respect it. The old Gorilla Pod. Oh, yes. What's a Gorilla Pod, you ask? Oh, do I have it sitting around? I don't know if I have it sitting around. Oh, I do. Really? Look what you did, Swan. You did this. You and only you. Hopefully I didn't exit anything. For the love of God, get a decent mic arm. Hey, it's not the arm's fault. I had the clamp loose. The clamp was loose, okay? It's not the arm's fault, okay? This is a Gorilla Pod. It's like a tripod that you could put your phone or camera onto for vlogging. Tell me we're getting Graceful Swan vlog content or IRL content of some sort. Tell me that's happening. Bobby Miller for Rookie of the Year. Hey, Bobby Miller has been great, but it's too bad that someone named Corbin Carroll exists. It is too bad for him.
That's inside. That's the ball.
The recording of such is happening? Yes, let's go. We need you to come save the summer circuit. There's nothing I can do, unfortunately. I physically cannot fix the championship series, unfortunately. It's just, they have some road bumps with this tournament structure being ran on consoles. It's part of just the road bumps. You know, we had road bumps with Battlefy tournaments and ESL back in the day. Obviously, this is also not ideal. It's never good, but hopefully they get something that works and they stick with it. Because it sucks going through this. How often do you spend your time troubleshooting things, you know? But, you know, it'll hopefully get better as we go. All it takes is hopefully it being fixed and things are good past that point. Hopefully. No, don't EA Sports. No, stop it. Stop it. Karma for ditching Xbox players. Stop. What's up, Southern Stripes? How we doing, dude? Type in the exclamation point controller MSP. It should link it to you, actually. Forgot to add a command for that. Just missed it. All right, let's get 3 outs. Come on, bullpen. Well, there you go, chat. Got some Amazon affiliate links in there that support me if you use those links for the controller. I use that, and I use a KontrolFreek Precision Ring on the left stick when I'm hitting. Along with some KontrolFreeks. I have the Omnis on the Xbox here. Type in exclamation point KF in the chat, and you'll see the ones that I'm using. Sox DFAing Tapia. I don't know enough of how Tapia was doing. I feel like I'd say it wasn't a stupid move if he wasn't a necessity on the team and he was struggling. But I also don't know how he had been doing. Wait, he got out at third? We're going to need to look at a replay of that because I did not see what happened. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I need an instant replay on that. So, line drive, caught. Oh, he sent him. Why did you send him? That's why you always cautiously throw back. Poor fella. GG's. Should have been traded. I mean, who says they weren't fielding offers, you know? Or looking into it, but they probably couldn't get something like that done. You DFA him and maybe a team goes for him, you know? Maybe a team bites. But yeah, that's how those things go. It's like with the Yankees and Aaron Hicks. Like, if a player doesn't do enough, it gets to a point where you probably can only DFA him. Especially if you're taking up a roster spot for someone. Also, chat, I do appreciate the follows. I guess for reference, we will also go live tomorrow since we have drops. I don't know when. I don't know how. I think what I'll do tomorrow is, since there are drops on for MLB The Show, earlier in the day, I'll do my good old baseball blitzball practice, do that, record it, because I streamed that a couple times in the week, or one time in the week, and had a lot of fun with it. But instead of streaming it, we'll get the footage, and I'll get it on my computer. So at some point, if we're live for a bit, we'll take some time and we'll watch the blitzball baseball footage while we're live, but also while doing MLB The Show, so you get those drops. for Logan Allen or Michael Kopech. I don't know, to be honest with you. I feel like I like Kopech's upside. I also don't know enough about Logan Allen. So, I don't know. Yes, they are, Aiden. Until 8 p.m. today, the drops for us eSport ambassadors are set to be different. The first pack you get for watching for 1 hour in here is a special pack that guarantees a diamond. And then the other pack are just, the other packs are just like their standard Twitch drops. But if you watch for an hour, you get the guaranteed diamond, and that's cumulative. So if you watch an hour combined of me, Thuni, Yayo, JX Gaming today, then you'd get that drop. All right, I gotta change this camera. It's not really helping me right now. And then past that, past 8 p.m., it's just normal drops. And the same drops for everyone. Yeah, I will say, if the packs don't show up right away, chat, they should show up eventually. If you're claiming the drop, that should be fine. However, some people have like issues with the connecting of things. It's good to consider like unlinking and relinking your account. It's also not a bad idea to go into the Twitch settings and unlinking it in there and then connecting again. Sometimes that fixes things, or sometimes you just need to wait. I know a lot of people are not getting the drops right away last day or two, last day or two, that I know were getting it before. Like me, I got the drops last weekend instantly. This weekend, they've not come in right away. I haven't gotten the ones I got yesterday yet, so. As long as you're claiming them, at that point, you should be fine. You just might need to tinker with, like, linking, unlinking, and stuff. Also, Halo gifting a sub to Mikey. Halo, I appreciate you. And Pasta! Pasta! The 12 months. You legend, Pasta. Thank you, my friend. Can we get some Scann love emotes in the chat for my dudes? Oh, get dotted up by Nady Evaldi. I appreciate it, Sir Pasta. You legend. Let me go through my alerts and change the filter. There are a lot of people following, and if you are following, I do appreciate you. At this point in my content creation career, streaming is certainly a secondary thing to me. Not my priority. It's more so we'll pop up streams in free time and when the time comes around. So if you do follow, I'd recommend turning on notifications so you know when those times come around. But I'm definitely more of a YouTube boy. So if you have not subbed to my main YouTube channel, or the Scann Plays YouTube channel, where I do Diamond Dynasty tips, you should check those out. Because we do YouTube stuff all the time. And apparently it's our partner anniversary today. Apparently a year ago. Was it a year? Is it, God, goodness, I don't even remember. I think it was it 21 that I got partner? I feel like it was. And that's wild that it's been that long. It's gross. And apparently it's 2 years, which is wild. So I appreciate you all. Hey, I appreciate it, Postmodern. Prefers Ashton's views over mine. You're definitely, I know Mikey is just joking, but it is a conversation point. Because there have been comments about my shift in content, and they're understood. You know, I used to make my primary content streaming all the time, focusing on like Diamond Dynasty tips and things to get better and making content in that sort. But as time went on last year, I got a bit burnt out on that style of content. It wasn't as rewarding of an experience to me anymore. And I really wanted to work on something bigger. Not in views, but like bigger projects for videos. That's why I did deep dives the way I did, because it was some way to tap into something different. It's why I did that one Jacob deGrom video where I talked about why Jacob deGrom was so good in MLB The Show 21. But at this point, it's like I want to have fun making some fun, entertaining videos like that, like I've been doing. So it's more than just the whole, oh, these things are getting a lot of views. It's just my passion in content has realigned a bit. And not everyone really gets that because they don't know the behind the scenes, or they don't really talk to me, or don't really understand that perspective from the content creator perspective. A lot of times people just see me changing from one thing that was limited in its audience to something different with a bigger audience and think, oh, you're just doing it for the money. And it's more than that, so. I wish I could like make a video on the main channel and just sit there and talk about it, but it just doesn't make sense to. I think some people just understand it and be on board with it. I mean, I think some people probably have over the last few months just seen the transition and understood why it's been done, and hopefully they've enjoyed, or maybe they found someone else that brought the content that they liked. But also some people are just not going to have their minds changed. So even if I did that, it wouldn't change anything. Hello, you lose chump. How we doing? He doesn't play with me anymore. Mikey, I did reinstall CSGO, and I'm going to be playing CS and dabbling in those shooters again. So I will certainly, I guess, be on Valorant at some point again. Oh, Dot. Dottie. How to fix your save not uploading? I've had that happen here and there. Try loading into the stadium and loading back out. Try once you have it saved on the on your stadium creator slot. Exit the stadium creator, go back into the creator, and then hit upload. Sometimes just like exiting and going back into the menu fixes it. Oh, Eddie Rosario, you're him. Nice play. You ever played CS? Oh, it's so fun. Or I should say it used to be so fun. Honestly, no, Mikey. Surprisingly not, no. Because that got spent on stubs, disappointingly enough. Yeah, that's been happening to some people, Valentino. To anyone who is not getting their packs right away, if you're claiming them, you're good. It just might not disperse right away. It's what's happening to me, I think, as well. Last week, drops were smooth and snappy. This week, they seem to not be giving out so quick. But you have it claimed, you should be fine, and eventually they should show up. So you might not see the packs right away, but if you're getting the packs, you'll eventually be able to get them, I think. So, hello, Siebes. How have we been, my friend? I'm glad to see you, brother. How have we been, Mr. Siebes? And yeah, and then on the reverse, there were other people who were not getting the drops right away last week who might have been getting them right away now, you know? So you're not getting progress in the championship series? Really? That don't make no sense. Let me pull up my own stream. Because I haven't even pulled up my own stream so I can get the drop. Because the campaign should still be going, at least for... Let me double check the time. The length of time. Ah! Hey, wow. Happy partner anniversary, Scann. Congratulations. Let's see. Two new events. Get rewards by watching Scann. Yeah, so the first one, yeah, the Championship Series qualifier weekend, day 1. That goes until 10 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. So it should still be going, I guess, if you're in here. I guess I'll keep an eye on the chat and see if what progress it says we get. Frederick. Oh, what a play. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting progress for it. I guess we'll see in time. We'll see what it looks like in due time. Yeah, it might be weird. Try refreshing the stream, Duff. Like, refreshing the tab or something if you're on browser. Or like if you're on mobile, try like restarting the app maybe. Also, I do have to say, if you're someone who was watching Thuni or Yayo or anyone else who's an esport ambassador, if you're watching them cover and you claim those packs already, it's the same progress from their streams. So keep that in mind. You only get the packs once between all of our streams combined. Good swing. Game crashing? That was the main thing. The main thing was people would put a starting pitcher in out of the bullpen, and it would crash the game. And it would give a lot of times it would give the person who was hitting the loss because it crashed the hitter's game, I think. So if that hitter was winning, they'd get the loss. You know? What's up with the hitting view? It's for I had it set for a YouTube video. Because when I record YouTube videos, I have the more zoomed out view for when I'm playing offline and such. Because I record a lot of my YouTube videos not in online games anymore, so I use that camera because it's more cinematic. So I forgot to change it. But I'm honestly vibing with it. I mean, as long as we're winning games, I'm going to keep it on because it's working, you know? It's nice seeing the hitter's stances again and remembering that they are actually people standing there. Frederick! Best first baseman. I feel like if I were to pick one first base option, safely, it's Babe Ruth. Just for every player. If we're not talking Babe Ruth. It's tough. There's actually so many options. You got Poppy. Poppy is very good. It's just you have the downside of facing a Randy Johnson. Lou Bob. Yankee bias. Yeah, grow up. What, 125 contact and power and a bunch of quirks is bias? But yeah, there are a lot of other good options. Like, I loved Munetaka Murakami. Started to lose it a bit with him on Legend difficulty. But I liked him on Hall of Fame a lot. Donaldson is nutty. Love Josh Donaldson. Harper is great. I feel like a safe number 2 that I think a lot of people end up liking, end up using, if it's not Babe Ruth. Actually, remind me after this. I'm going to look at the cards. I got to look at the roster of cards because there is a player that I know people use at first base pretty consistently that isn't Babe Ruth. That is really dang good. At least one. I just can't think of their name. Other than Babe, like Gehrig's popular. Freddie Freeman's now a pretty solid option. But I feel like people use Gehrig, Murakami. They're a good bit at this point. Oh, Stan. Yeah, Stan Musial. We're going to say Stan Musial. Yep, Stan is the number 2. And then past that point, it's probably pretty even with, like, Murakami, Donaldson, and those other, like, really solid 99s. Like, Lou Gehrig's up there. Lou Gehrig is nice. The thing with Lou Gehrig is the attributes are slightly weaker, but he gets a lot of quirks, and I feel like he's got one of those swings I always love. I just haven't considered him enough just because of the attributes. Yes, Mickey Mouse him. Man, we're so good at baseball. Frank Thomas is good, especially if you're facing Randy. Now the fact that someone like a Randy or Chris Sale are good pitchers, having that lefty option is big. That's the other thing on the same side. David Ortiz is great because you face that very good righty. You have someone with 125, 125. Though I will say those guys end up probably being DHs for many people because their level of fielding. I mean, we are so good at baseball, Chad, you know? We got a triple. Oh, Larry Walker. Larry Walker's card might be one I pick up at some point. I feel like his card is generally, like, not used enough. And that card is not that far off from, like, the 99 Larry Walker from, like, the MLB, was it 20 days? 19? It's just that there's so many other outfield options. A lot of the people that would want to use Larry Walker probably have a combination of Sosa, Trout, Hank, Mantle, even Kyle Tucker. So he's not as high priority as he was back then. But that card's got to play. And my lineup could use some lefties. So, you know, depending on how Mike Trout does in the long run, maybe I'll pick up the good old booger. You know, we'll pick some boogies. We'll put him out in the outfield at some point. Oh, yeah, Judge. I forgot to mention Judge is like a viable outfielder. I went like subliminal Ochev mode. And just dissed Aaron Judge. God. Ow. Which pack is the guaranteed diamond? It's the first one. If you watch for an hour in here, which there is an hour left in the campaign, an hour left for the drop to be obtained. If you watch an hour in the Esports Ambassador stream, you get that special pack, which is a guaranteed diamond. It's a guaranteed diamond special pack. It's just called special pack on Twitch, but it's a guaranteed diamond, apparently. Buddy, you're getting fluked. You are getting fluked out here. Hello, Diabetes. How we doing, buddy? I appreciate you. Is this the tournament? No, the tournament was delayed. We are playing events for the culture. Yeah, I'll show you all the God Squad after this. I want to talk about it, this subject again, because I talked about it a little bit earlier. I want to dive into what I tweeted yesterday and no money spent and all that hoopla. Woo! Is it really that special? I mean, it's special in the fact that it's different than the other drops, you know? And for some people, a diamond can be special. I mean, at the very least, I don't know what the diamond is. I don't know if it's going to be a diamond live series. It could be someone really good, maybe, you know? I don't know if it's a guaranteed diamond to be like one of the special kaiju cards that are in the takeover. That I don't know. But hey, there's some value in that. More than the other drops. And I will say, like, especially with the drops, there's always a discussion. People are like, oh, get all these drops to pull bronzes. Yes, that happens. That's how packs go. But you don't have to do anything for these. You know, if you just hang out with a stream open while grinding the game, maybe you're hanging out chatting, you get a free pack. And you never know when you pull in that free pack. And all the chase for that one good pull could make it all worth it. You know, you pull a Mike Trout out of a pack, and that makes all of that time that you literally didn't do anything worth it. Okay, that did not help Judge's cause there, because I definitely was not pushing the stick down all the way to the left. Yeah, it's free stubs, you know? And if you don't want to sit up and like pull up a stream and watch, that's perfectly okay, you know? Free packs are free packs. You never know what you're going to get. Kaiju Altuve, that's a W. That card seems pretty neat. Speaking of like contact type players, because I feel like Altuve is someone that should be a contact type hitter. Oh, nice swing. He should be like a contact type hitter on his card. That's like the type of player Jose Altuve is. He shouldn't have too much power. And the fact that you can get a card like that and have it be pretty solid is sick. And like I will say, I do have to say that I've learned this year, especially as I've taken a step back a bit from DD, starting to play less. The way that some of us who are diehard DD players look at content, you know, like I would, like last year, I'd pull that Altuve, and I'd be like, oh, what's this card for? I'm just gonna sell, get rid of it. There's value for a lot of players. If they get that lucky pull, you don't have that great of a team, you know, that's a nice little 99 they could add to a team that they didn't have before. And especially this year, if you're playing pretty casually, you probably have some good 97s sprinkled in with, like, not too hard to obtain 99s, like maybe the monthly awards or monthly award Aaron Judge. Maybe guys like the XP reward path balls. You probably don't have 99s and the best 99s sprinkled all around your lineup. So a card like Altuve has a good purpose for your team. And I think the fact that you can pull something like that just in a free pack like that is dope, you know? Hickey's biased, yeah, you know, I mean, even this year I'd quick sell Altuve. not actually, but I will say genuinely, like if you're like, there's been a lot of talk on no money spent in this game, if it's good, bad, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of controversy on it, and my stance is pretty firm. This team has been built all no money spent. None of the players on this team have been bought with stubs I bought yesterday. None of them. Those stubs currently are just sitting in my my stub counter up there. And I'm going to do some pack video at some point. We'll do like a pack opening at some point today. I sold my Commerce Comet, which I saved up, no money spent, so I could accrue stubs. But when I bought stubs, I bought and sold a bunch of players because it was a mess of a video process. This is where all the stubs that I bought went into. All of these stubs were lost in the buy now, sell now orders and the taxes on the market, which nobody's doing this. Nobody is going to the market, buying Bryce Harper, selling them before they even use them in the game because, oh, I changed my idea. I'm gonna do a different video. And that was already a bunch of stubs down the tank. And I only did this because I was urgently recording. People are not doing this. I lost a bunch of stubs. I'll accept it. But I can write off the stubs because content. It's my job. You know? And at the end of the day, this team had Hank, Mickey Mantle, Judge, Ruth, Seager, Jeter, Wright, Jones, Napoli. I had Joe Mauer. I used him a bunch yesterday, and those were subs I did. I exchanged Mickey Mantle for Joe Mauer to use for a bit. It comes down to just being smart with your stubs. And at the end of the day, like if you're playing the game all the time, you're gonna get a good team like this because I'm not buying a lot of cards to get these set collections. It's just grinding if you want to do that. That's not for everyone though. So chances are a lot of people get like one of the set collections, right? You get one of these set collections like Chipper. Maybe you get someone like Randy Johnson. So you have a couple of those guys. Then you try to capitalize the other 99s, like you use Aaron Judge. You probably go for the good XP reward path cards like Francisco Lindor from season 1. Donaldson, Utley are very good in the infield. Honestly, Grady Sizemore is nice in the outfield. Got to get Mo and Maddox in the bullpen and in rotation. And these are 99s that you're just getting not too badly. So, yes, I grinded a lot for a Super God squad, but you also don't need this. And sometimes you get caught, like us who play the game all the time, get caught up in the, we need to do every single thing, and every single thing needs to be super obtainable. And that was a big plus side of last year. But also, I think the game also wants to give you something to grind for. And, you know, if Mickey Mantle was like 100,000 stubs, he'd be in every lineup. I would be using him. It wouldn't be that much of a grind to get him. It was fun grinding up stubs to get him. It's not for everyone, and I get that. And I understand that the shift from the game being very no money spent friendly, where every card was super obtainable in the past, it's shifting away from that. And I understand the perspective people have. I also understand the perspective of people who are very adamant on the other side. At the end of the day, the thing I've learned this year, especially not grinding DD as much as I used to, is that it's kind of nice not going for every single thing. You know, you realize that this content structure is about, let me just go for the players I like, you know? I got Aaron Judge in my team. He's a good card I can use in my team, and it's not going to cause me really any harm. You know, I grind and I love Hank Aaron. I could use him on my team. Derek Jeter. And it gave me something to grind for. But if you don't want to grind for them, there are other cards that you can go for and use in their place. And, you know, as you keep going, there'll be other Aaron Judges and Mike Trouts where you'll be able to get a lower overall that is maybe easier to obtain that you can get. And it's there's been so much controversy. It's a lot of yelling going on. And I think it's warranted because everyone's really passionate about the game. And I get where everyone comes from. But I think I've been personally really enjoying it. And I'm trying to just have fun with what it is. And I have my critiques, you know. I think a very fair critique is that the ranked season program is, I feel like it's a little too long of a grind. I'm cool with it being a little longer, like it was last season. I feel like them taking away the wins kind of hurt the length of the grind. It was nice that they had that, kind of took that away and it made it a little longer. And there was criticism on ranked feelings very easy to earn to start. Because we started at 0 rating and the season was longer and we got it like 400, 500 rating. I feel like I'd prefer that than having it be this long. But that's also not like the biggest critique. I think it's just like, I got to the very end of the season. I think it would be better to make these cards, especially the level of cards they are, earnable. So like if you're playing ranked consistently, you get it within reason in a couple weeks where you're not selling your soul to ranked. So then that last part of that ranked season, maybe you use the card on your team. You have like ample amount of time to do it. I prefer it being that way, but also they give the cards value. So when I did make World Series, it was rewarding and it made me want to push for World Series right away. I was not doing that in the first seasons because the rewards got so cheap. So if that's a trade-off, I'm cool with it. And that's what it comes down to, you know? I think while I have a critique or something that maybe doesn't fit my play style the best, because I used to sell those cards all the time, I'm cool with the sacrifice because in a sense, it benefits me in another way or benefits another part of the community that needed that benefit. And I think ranked needed that incentive to get people to push World Series. And I think that's how a lot of things go. While some things hurt our experience or the way that we play the game, there's another bunch of people where it benefits. And I think that's worth it to try to improve the experiences for the different people. And those sacrifices, I think, are worth it. For me, at least. And so far, so good on Aaron Judge, by the way. I played a couple games with him on Legend. He does strike out. That's going to happen with 55 vision. But when he squares up the ball and he crushes it, you know? The score bot's cool. It's actually really sick. If any of you stream, just look up Sports Scores bot. It's pretty sick. It's just a free bot to use on his site. It's pretty sick. And yeah, it's, I guess I don't want to keep on rambling about my entire thoughts on DD content because if you're on Twitter, you see it all the time. I'm at a point where I don't even want to discuss it too much or really overly debate things because I'm kind of letting things play out and trying to enjoy it for what it is. If there's something that slightly hindered my experience, I understand it probably benefits someone else. And I'm trying to like change up how I think about DD because it's been a big shift in how we view Diamond Dynasty this year, where it used to be really about getting every single card and doing every single thing and filling up the binder with every card. Now it's about selecting more so the different players or the way you want to grind, and it's changing. So I also am understanding it's changing and trying to have fun with it. I'm trying not to get into a train of yelling on Twitter about what I think is right and wrong. And just offering things that I think could be improved upon while keeping it simple. So there might be some people wondering my 2 cents on DD in the game. There's my answer to it. I don't want to yell into the abyss on Twitter. Back to the conversation of things. You could still get drops. In this channel here. If you watched me, Thuni, Yayo, or JX Gaming, you get packs for the championship series. The first pack that you'd get in that is a special pack. That special pack has a guaranteed diamond, apparently. So if you were in here a bit or in one of their streams for a bit, you have until 8 p.m. Eastern to get those drops in here. It's that very first one. Once you get it claimed, it's good. It might not show up in your inventory right away, but as long as you have it claimed, Hopefully it shows up in your inventory one of these days. Or at some point today, hopefully. But as long as you got it claimed, then it's technically yours. It just might not disperse right away. You might have to wait a bit for it to show up in your inventory. Past that, there are the set drops for all, where at every channel, you've got standard drops. You have the Kaiju Takeover packs. You have like one Kaiju Takeover special pack. I don't know that much of a difference with that one. But you could get those packs, I think, once every half hour. You watch for 30 minutes and claim the regular, the reward Kaiju Takeover pack. Then watch for an additional hour to get a special, another hour for a regular. So it starts off at half an hour, then an hour. So those are accrued through all the streams. And then I think they will reset again tomorrow for day 2. And I'll double check. I think the championship series drops are going to be on still, meaning another guaranteed diamond pack tomorrow in this stream, along with Thuni, Yayo, JX Gaming, and such. So, if those are still on, I think that's good. Yeah, chat. I'm getting progress in the championship series pack. By the way, I'm getting progress for that. By the way, some people are saying they aren't. Your thing might be bugged. You might want to restart Twitch. Maybe sign out, sign in. I'm not sure, but yeah. Also, hi, Chawsy. Hiya, Chaws. Nice play, Wander. And yes, if you watched here for an hour, the first Twitch drop you get is a guaranteed diamond pack. I don't know any more info what the diamond is or the odds, but that pack is apparently a guaranteed diamond. And that's only for the esport ambassadors. Only for us. Everyone else gets like the normal and like that special drop. I don't know what's on that. Interesting, TJ. Yeah, I don't know. It might be weird since there are like 2 different drops campaigns going on. I have no idea how like the back end of drops work. It's really weird because there are also like I don't know if I've seen other games or other things that have done it like that. So I have no idea. It's like there are issues with the drops themselves not being dispersed in the inventory. There are issues with progress not being made. It's tough to tell what's on the back end, like with Twitch, what's on MLB The Show site. It's all very weird. Honestly, Chawsy, it really is not that bad, you know? At the end of the day, we get to hang out, play MLB The Show, get free packs. Obviously, you know, I was out and there were issues with the tournament and stuff, and it sucks when you dedicate your time for that, you know? I may not have streamed had there not be tournament stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, with the position I'm in and all of that, I really am in no position to really complain. You know, I'm just thankful that we got all you guys to hang out with me today. We get free packs, and we can make this Saturday a good one, despite the issues that we ran into with the tournament. You know. Oh wee. Yeah, like before this week, I should have scored. Before this week, my drops were very quick. But now I have not gotten the ones for this weekend. She only needs 10 more minutes. Oh yeah, for sure, Kim. I'm gonna be live. Oh, there's Matt Chapman. Bing bong. First bing bong. Come on, play the bing bong. Bing bong. Thank you. I'm gonna be live for a good bit. I want to be live hang out for a good bit tonight. I haven't had like a nice streaming session in a bit, so we'll hang out for a good bit tonight. And I'll try to go live maybe around the same time tomorrow for the second bunch of drops, because I think the championships drops are going to be on then as well. So if the tournament's not going to go that, I think it's only fair to still go live, try to get you guys those guaranteed diamonds. But drops for everyone will be open this weekend. So it's like kind of confusing because there are two different things going on. But essentially, everyone in the directory that you watch that has drops on in their channel, which is basically everyone. Ready? Did I hit the base? Okay. That's the drops for all. Then for us esport ambassadors who were covering the esport tournament that unfortunately got delayed.
No ball, 1 strike.
You get the special guaranteed diamond drop from watching us. We're like a subcategory of everyone else. So if you watch us combined for an hour, you get that guaranteed diamond pack. And then there are other drops after the fact. So that's only in the time period of, I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. It's like 5 hours. And I think that'll be the same time then tomorrow, so. So yes, for the guaranteed diamond, it's 1 in each of those days. So if you watch for an hour in here today, that's 1 today, and then there will be 1 tomorrow that you'd also get from the championship series. Those are only available in the championship series coverage. There are other drops after that are the same as the other drops on every channel. And then obviously you get your certain amount of drops a day. I think it's like 5 a day for watching everyone or anyone. So those guaranteed diamonds are only 1 a day in the eSport Ambassador streams. What happened in the tournament? What happened was people were playing and they would put a starter in out of the bullpen. It would crash the game. So games would basically end when someone would put in a pitcher out of the bullpen. So they got to fix that. And they had to cancel the brackets for today. So some people also played through their bracket again. That's why I really recommend to anyone who's playing, absolutely keep a tab open for like me, Thuni, Yayo, all of us who are covering, because we're getting like live updates instantly as soon as we hear things. So the second that we know that like a game is like games don't count for the day because of that issue, then you don't have to waste your time playing the games. Because some people go about playing the games and they're finishing up the bracket because in their head like they haven't heard anything. They're just focused on playing. Or at the very least, after a game, it's worth checking things because they were a little later with the announcement today. My opponent went into Nolan into Randy. It was just fine. Definitely triggered by the starting pitcher, but more than just okay. Yeah, it was something more weird than that. I saw one clip of someone. I felt like the name of the pitcher was bugged on the bottom right corner. What's up, Get 'em Jers? How we doing, my guy? How have we been? And yeah, if you guys claim the drops, they might not show up in your inventory right away. That has been the case for me. I've gotten a bunch of drops. They haven't shown up in my inventory right away. Might take a day. I don't know how long it'll take. And sometimes it's not a you thing. Once it's claimed, the pack would eventually show up in your inventory whenever your account's set up properly or MLB The Show actually disperses them properly. Whatever it is going on, they will come. Once you hit claim, you're good. The pack is technically yours, and it should show up eventually. It just may take some time. You might have to disconnect and reconnect your account at some point. It's very finicky, unfortunately. It's not even SDS's fault. It's just how Twitch drops are. But hey, we take the free packs when we get them. So GG's. How am I hitting with zoom camera so well? What is going on with this? I am such a casual. SES and Sony scared you? Oh, yeah, that's why they definitely moved to PlayStation tournaments. They're scared of Halo Master 00003. Absolutely. Is there a reason YM Twitch drops? Oh, I thought you were making a YM joke. I was like, wait. But yeah, sometimes they just don't disperse right away. It's all finicky. Like, I'll show you right now. I've claimed a bunch of packs. Not my inventory. Restart app. Probably won't be in my inventory. What's my main camera angle? I mainly use Strike Zone. When I'm playing and I'm competing, I use Strike Zone. And in terms of my PCI, I'll usually use, like, right now, I'm having fun with the bat center and then reverb outer. If not, I'll do, like, circles. No, I'll do, like, altitude center, reverb outer. Or if I'm on All-Star, I'll do circles inner or circles center, basic inner. There are like 3 different PCIs I run. It's very weird. It's all depending on like the difficulty. Game Pass? Yes, sir. Hey, I also got gifted my copy on PlayStation. MLB The Show sent me a copy, so I don't want to hear any no money spent unless it was for you guys. Except for the fact that I bought subs yesterday for recording a video. Oh, man. How do you find monthly award cards in the app? I don't know. There isn't a series for them on the app. That's odd. That's odd. Do I miss Strike Zone 2? No. I used to love it because it was different. But I got to a point with where I sat with my monitor. I wasn't reading the Strike Zone well enough. It was very weird. I don't know how my brain works with it, but it does. We demand the answers. What answers, Roscoe? I'm not answering that. Are you breedable? Are you kidding me? What do you want from me? But yeah, chat, this is the current God Squad. I know some people are probably wondering what team I'm running. All of these cards were obtained, no money spent. Every single one of them. Maybe we'll take a break. We'll open some packs. You guys want to see some packs? Shall we buy the 60K bundle here? And see if we can get Joe Mama? Shall we have some fun and do some packs? It's not even a question. I'm doing it. All right. So, for any of the mods, we should do a channel point prediction. Like an over-under of diamonds pulled. Like, over-under of like 1.5 diamonds in these 21 packs here. But we'll start with these boys. Yeah, chase pack not included. Correct. I don't know if any mod's starting it. I'll start it. Start prediction. How many diamonds in these standard and jumbo packs? Let's do these packs. So not including the chase pack. We'll just do like an over-under. I think that's easier to do. Give it a 50-50 chance. Over, under 1.5. All right. Over, under. So, chat, do you think we're going to pull more than or less than 1.5 diamonds? So, like, do you think I'm going to pull 0 or 1 diamond? Or do you think I'm going to pull 2 or more? We'll pause for now. Let you guys do that. Bet them channel points, baby. We got 19, or now 20 packs. That'll count. And then this is a guaranteed diamond. That one doesn't matter. We'll do a separate channel point prediction for like Joe Mauer. Always open the chase pack first. No, that's cursed. You got to build it up. You got to build up the hype. We get the worst packs out of the way. Build up excitement. Let the packs heat up. They do the jumbo pack, which is a little better. and then the chase pack with all the hype there, you know. I will say I might end up saving the rest of my subs for a video. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of those. I think I should make some more content out of it because I spent too much money on the subs for that YouTube video yesterday. I feel gross. Let's see what the prediction's going, by the way. I'm interested to see where you guys lie. Ooh, we're at nearly 50-50 on the over and under. In terms of the points predicted, that's dope. BR is tough, Aiden. It's tough. You got to have a different type of approach playing this game to handle BR. You got to be very patient. 1 out of 2 odds? Well, hey, you know, that's still a 50% chance of not getting one. And that's only one, you know? We got 19 packs to also have to get another diamond. So, also, I still have music paused. This is awkward. I want to play like a throwback MLB The Show song here. Oh, yes. Real ones remember this song in an old... I think this is definitely in an old MLB The Show game. I'm pretty sure... Actually, no, maybe this might have been the MLB 2K times. All right, let's do it. Channel point predictions are through. Let them rip. Good start, folks. Went under. Honestly, with my recent pack luck, I'd have voted for the under. Na 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 na. Oh, we got Joey Gallo, cursed pack. Guess I didn't want channel points going awful. Yep. That's how it goes, Mason. I just realized that was Tatis on that. They had Tatis on that home run celebration thing. Here for the drops. Let's go, Walker. Let's go. Yeah, chat, if you've been watching me, Thuni, Yayo, JX at some points today, you have until 8 p.m. to get our drops. And the guaranteed diamond is 1 hour of watch time. So hopefully this last hour gets you enough time to get that guaranteed diamond. And then the same packs end up being the drops for everyone afterwards. So J-Mills, no, we're not doing this. Exclamation point claim does nothing. We're not doing that. Chat, I don't want to hear any exclamation point claims. J-Mills is lying to you. He's trying to start trouble. That's honestly like sword revocable right there. Honestly, sword revocable right there. Jeremy, don't go for it. Stop. No. Stop. Everyone type an exclamation point claim is lying to you all. It does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. Wait, double claim. Are you kidding me? What's double claim gonna do? Give you a second pack? You know what? I hope I don't pull a single diamond here. I hope I don't pull a single one. Not even one. I don't want you all to even get close to getting the over on this. Shame on you all. Shame on you all. All right. Do we need a double diamond in this? I think we need a double diamond for the over. Do you guys believe? Do you believe? Giga claim. Double diamond in his pack. We're going to go slow through it too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't even tell where I'm scrolling at this point. Only one. One diamond. Get teased, under gang. Let's go. I mean, over gang. Get teased. Oh my. CX with the fat 5 gifted. You absolute legend. Can we get some scan love emotes in the chat for my dude? Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. All right, Sneaky, you could untime him out. You could untime him out. We could untime him out. He doesn't need to stay timed out. Chat, claim doesn't do anything. Okay, thank you. 90 stand, what's the point? It's a collection card. And honestly, like, this pack is like a 15K pack. So, like, he's a collection card, and also a lot of people aren't getting the 99. And a lot of people aren't going to get the 94 captain card. So they just want to give him a 90. That's really what it comes down to. It is interesting they chose Stan, though. Now, I didn't expect that. But I guess I get it. Pay it out? Yeah, I'll pay it out. Yeah, Hank, too, as well. I don't know I guess I don't know the bigger picture of those, but I think what it comes down to is just giving players other options to use those cards, because they're better versions or harder to obtain. Like Stan and Hank both have like set collection, live series collection cards, and also are like World Series award set collection card. So it gives them a 90 overall for the people that can't get them if they want to use them. Because there are enough people that play with theme teams and stuff where they could still use a card like that. That's the logic, I think. Let's be real. Even if it wasn't Stan Musial and it was someone else who was a lower overall, probably has the same type of place for most people, you know? But I don't know. I have no idea. What's up, Lucius? How we doing, dude? It was good. All right, we got the chase pack now. Do you guys think we get Joe Mauer? Next prediction. Do you think we get Joe Mama? All right, you got 30 seconds. Let it rip, chat. But yo, seriously, my dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, CXT, you legend, man. Very kind of you. You're making it. Well, I'm quicker than you, J Mills. L Mod. Yours was better. Well, you know what? We do not care. Hammer the under. Wow. Good for you. You know? Good for you. Because even if you do hammer it, you're not going to make that much. That's like, wow, that's a lot of points. Actually, that was from the previous one. All right. Let's go. Pause the music. The cover boy. See, chat? If this is not a lesson in life, this is why we get free packs and we don't buy packs. If that is not a lesson to you, I don't know what is. Streamer luck? Yeah, dude. I got that streamer luck. No, I got that YouTuber luck. Because I'm on a... Oh, nice. I did an exclamation point, doofus. You know what? Real respect to everyone who went for yes there. Real respect to you because you took a risk. You took a risk that you knew wasn't in your favor, but the reward was there if it worked out. You sacrificed some channel points for a shot at something good. I can respect you for that. I can respect everyone who voted that. Another turd sandwich. Stop it. Turd sandwich. Oh, man. So I don't want to spend all of my stubs because I do want to save them. I might do a pack video down the road. I might do some video where I require expensive cards. And I paid for those stubs. So wait, before anyone says like, oh, they converted Scann to money spent. I already did it for content and this is what it got me. We got like 13K in diamonds. Woo! And that's okay. Because I do it so we can have a fun time. And I can make good content. So you guys don't have to. Who was I selling? Jazz. Marlins. Wait, was that not Jazz? Who the heck was that? Or did I sold him already? I was like, oh, let me sell him. I sold him already. Buffoon. Silly Willy. But Scann is really saying, who bet on the over or dumb? No. No, I'm not saying you're dumb. Let's think about it. Is it worth making like 2K stubs by betting what everyone bets? Or is it worth risking like 5K stubs and potentially getting a huge payout, you know? I respect the hustle. It's like if you were doing like real life sports betting and you're like, oh, I'm going to go for the long shot just to see what happens. You've got to respect it, you know? Because one day that'll hit and it'll work out and they will be very well. Also, chat, apparently it is our partner anniversary. So if you are swinging by here, I've apparently been a Twitch partner for now 2 years. Which is gross. And I don't even like stream anymore like I do. But we're celebrating, I guess. So I appreciate you all. Harley, if you're having issues, make sure you're on the theshow.com account. When you log on to theshow.com, don't log into PlayStation or Xbox. Make and log into a theshow.com account. And then on there, connect your PlayStation and Xbox accounts. And then you'll be able to link there. It's very weird. But, yeah, I streamed once earlier this week in my yard. I have a setup now where I have blitz balls, where I soft toss blitz balls and take a bunch of swings. Also a setup where I throw blitz balls. And for 30 days, I'm going out and practicing and I guess we'll say training. It's like training to a level because I'm not like really taking it too seriously. But I'm trying to get a little better at blitz ball over this next month for a YouTube video. Because we're going to be playing blitzball with a bunch of dudes in the All-Star break in Seattle. So I want to be good for then and make the journey into a YouTube video. Also, I want to go outside and get in shape because I'm severely out of shape. I barely touched any grass during the cold time of the year. So I'm going to go live a couple times a week in the middle of the week to do that. But we'll do it live so we can hang out and chat about things. And it was actually kind of fun when we did it earlier in the week. So the special drop pack that you get here, Blue Jay fan, all I know is the guaranteed diamond. I'm not sure about other than that, though. I don't know enough. I haven't even gotten the packs, so I don't know what's in them. Other than like the basic drops or just regular drops. Just throw. Oh, we're gonna be throwing. Yesterday I was learning the screwball. When I first played blitzball last year, I was only just throwing overhand. I didn't know any pitches. I didn't know how it worked. So I was just like lobbing in like fastballs and guess we'll call them changes, but really just lobbing the ball in. And I found out that to throw a screwball, you just go like you like grip it normally like a two-seamer. Where like a regular fastball, and then you go like submarine with it. So the spin, that top spin that you'd have on like a fastball turns into side spin because the angle you're releasing the ball. So I was practicing that yesterday, and I was surprisingly good at it. I was like, this isn't even that hard, but I managed to pick it up so soon. I'd never throw sidearm like that. After like mislocating a bit, I was throwing it more consistently than overhand. So I've got that up my sleeve at least. But I want to learn the other pitches. I want to learn a nice curveball. I want to get interesting with the pitches. I am ruining Mitch Keller's ERA, by the way. Tommy John surgery. I will say, it's weird. My arm, like, slightly had been hurting. Like, swinging and stuff. But, I was able to push through. Like, my arm was like a little sore, but it didn't hurt when I threw, if you know what I mean. I think it's just because I haven't really thrown much at all. But I'm also not like pushing myself too hard. It's really just about me going out there, throwing regularly, hitting regularly. So when a month comes down, I'm ready to play for that day and hope we can play pretty well. That's the goal.
1-1.
We'll see, though. I got to be wary because you got my boy Ray Cheesy out there. He's been playing with the Swisher Blitzball League. And he's been playing a good bit. And he's pretty solid at pitching. He's got a nice little swing on him. So, you know, we're competing with him. We've got college pitcher legend Graceful Swan out there. Got Ants, who was dicing us up last year with 2 seams left and right. So I want to hold my own there this time. I don't want to look like a doofus. Keep or sell live series Tatis. I don't know if I can make that decision for you. I'd only keep them if you're going to collect them and go for live series collections. Oh, my chimpanzee with the 2 months. I appreciate you, dude. You absolute legend. Also, did I miss your resub, Tacos? Did I miss your resub, Apo Tacos? I appreciate you, man. Coming with the fat 10 months before. I appreciate it, brother. My alerts are silent for some reason. So, I think I missed some of the... I missed that amongst all the chaos, but I appreciate it, brother. We're now 17 subs getting back to 100, which is kind of nutty. I appreciate you all. Yeah, Jamos, you were freaking carving, too. You were freaking carving us up. I didn't like it. I was not ready for someone who hadn't swung a bat like that in God knows how long. You're just throwing hard. I mean, you were throwing hard, but you still had nice movement on your pitches, which really helped. Like, I was talking about it, like, I feel like if we were to go out there, we obviously can't do, like, a velo limit. We're not going to have a velocity gun. But I feel like we got to somewhat moderate how hard we throw. We can't have a J Mills hucking out as hard as he can, throwing his arm out. We got to find that balance, like, how hard is hard enough. Because, like, yeah, with how close that mound was, how hard J Mills was throwing, we were getting gassed up. No, I'm playing events right now, Tomlin. And also, what's up, Vance? How you doing, dude? Unfortunately, the Championship Series tournament did not go down fully today. So, that all unfolded while I was out. We celebrated my sister's birthday today. It is her birthday today. Oh, yeah.
Bing bang.
And I was trying to keep up with all the esports stuff as that was happening. Came back home. Tournament was delayed. And decided to go live and hang out for some drops. And so far, so good. We're having a blast today. Drops are being earned. Maybe not dispersed to inventories. But people are getting drops. And we are having fun. I would assume so, Blue Jays. I would assume so. In terms of like a change of the dates and stuff. But we'll get some updates on that this week to see how much things are delayed and all of that. Yes, I'm using Zoom camera view because I use this in YouTube videos. Actually, this might be Strike Zone 3. Looking at this, let's look at it. No, it is Zoom. I'm using Zoom because when I record offline for YouTube videos, I'm usually playing against the CPU and stuff, or I'm doing like a 0 to 99 overall video. And for the look of the video, I like having the player and their stance and stuff in there. But I have not changed it, and we are somehow winning all of our games and crushing the baseball. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, actually. A lot more fun than I expected. Ooh. You have to get Dimmu's old-timey voice on the broadcast. Unfortunately, there will not be a broadcast tomorrow since the tournament was delayed tomorrow for tomorrow's qualifier, too. I want to see Dimmu do at least a little bit of commentary. Maybe what we'll do, since Dimmu is a busy fella, maybe what we'll do is, like, I'm planning on doing a highlight show each weekend. where I highlight clips and go through all the moments. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have the highlight. I'll have like a selected highlight or two with some context without any commentary or other sounds, and send it to him blank and say, here, you should do an old-timey commentary clip for this. Because that would be incredibly fun. He ain't busy. He's at a Braves game. We all have lives of our own. We all have lives of our own throughout the weekend. You know, especially someone like Dimmu who streams so damn much, you know. It's always good to take those weekends and take those days to relax for yourself. So he absolutely is. I mean, everyone's busy in some sense. I mean, Dimmu and I have a similar path of things with our day-to-day, I would somewhat assume. We are definitely both up very late. We both get our next days started very late. And might not be super productive to start off those days. So for me, like, he's streaming late. I'm working on videos late. Like, I'm editing late. Last night, I recorded until 6 a.m. I was recording a video that didn't think would take that long. Started at like 12 or 1 a.m. I recorded until 6 a.m. Given that was like the only time I've done that. I was in shambles at just the fact that I put myself in a position to do that. I can't believe I did that. Yes, we will be streaming tomorrow. Yes, we will. Oh, I know, Mike. You're good. Don't worry about it. But, yes, we will be live tomorrow. Yes, we will. We will be live tomorrow so you guys can get your guaranteed diamond drop. I think that campaign will still be on for our channels where you can get the guaranteed diamond. At the very least, we'll go live for your drops for all Twitch drops. And chat, I do appreciate you all coming in with the happy partner anniversary. Apparently, I'm an old man on the Twitch side of things now. 2 years Twitch partner. The time kind of is a blur at this point. I kind of don't think about how I started streaming MLB The Show back in MLB The Show 18. And I got rated by someone with 100 viewers by the name of Daddy Dimmu TV. And I didn't know people streamed the game like that. And was like, whoa, people watch MLB The Show. That's crazy. I started to watch Dimmu and Scuffy and Cougs and making content on my own in the game. And the rest is history. And that's all the way back in MLB The Show 18. It's like 5 years. It's gross. Gross shit. But yeah, I don't know what time we'll be live tomorrow. I would somewhat assume around the same time today when we went live. Maybe around like 4 or 5 p.m. EST. I want to start editing a video. I also want to go outside and do my about half hour to an hour of blitzball training. And get that done nice before we go live. I was not able to go outside today and do it like I wanted to. Yeah, we're old, Mikey. We're old men. Chat, if you guys have been involved in MLB The Show YouTube or Twitch, which game was the first game that you started to watch MLB The Show content? Or maybe in your case, make MLB The Show content. Because that started back in MLB The Show 18, and that was a year, all right. MLB The Show 18 was quite the year for MLB The Show. What year did that start for you guys? 16, wow. Good for you guys. I think I watched some guys like TD Barrett here and there back in the day. I was like, oh, MLB The Show seems pretty neat, but very little I watched. It's not significant to me. 16, 17, 20, 21, 21, 16, 15. I see you, Pill Mama. MLB 15. It's wild. It's so wild. And to think that even back with when I got into the 18, how many people had been doing it for a while then. I'm shocked in general there aren't more people typing 21. Because I feel like 21 was a big year for the game. Because it was so new to people. And so many people got on board that would be the show then. You've been playing since 08? Oh, I have MLB The Show 06 hidden around somewhere. 06 and 05. I mean, 06 and 07. Just hidden around. I also have MLB 2006 on PSP with Vlad Sr. on the cover. That was technically MLB The Show before MLB The Show. It was still 99 Sports back then. But it was before they were referred to as The Show. I played that on PSP. Yeah, I couldn't imagine what MLB The Show content looked like in MLB 15. That is insane. But it makes sense. There's people had to exist back then. When I got involved, wow, he went to third. When I got involved in MLB The Show, that was who is that right after? What's his name? There's one streamer dude. Oh yeah, Carl dude. It's Carl dude. Carl dude was like one of the guys. I think I hopped on MLB The Show content as he had been like stopping. And a lot of people used to watch him back in the day. Also like Cardinal Bird, right? For you old heads. Also existed. And I didn't watch them, but I entered as they were kind of like slowing down a bit. Watch Tips. Yeah, Tips, dude. I will say I genuinely like here and there I'll pull up Tips' channel and I'll be like, look at this. Look at this old MLB The Show content. Just look at Tips at the content. I love it. Troy Dan. Oh, Troy Dan was doing it back then? That's fair. Yeah, Troy Dan's still at it. He's still at it. It's cool to see how many people, like the people that have stuck around since back then. Like Twin has been an OG. And that man grinds so hard with uploading daily. It's nutty. At the Cougs is and guys like them who've been doing it for so damn long. Conquest, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like it's crazy. Like Cougs used to do a lot of tips, you know? A lot of people don't know that. It's wild. Hey, I appreciate it, Razor. Yeah, that's the beauty of YouTube. YouTube is so discoverable. When you get into creating content, you kind of realize with Twitch, like, honestly, a lot of you guys are here because there are drops on MLB The Show. Some of you guys probably know me from YouTube. I'm partially working with SES directly with the drops and stuff and esport coverage. So that's like an opportunity that got probably a fair amount of you guys in here today. But like none of that happens without having social media outside of Twitch. It's tough really growing as a streamer by really only focusing on Twitch. It's tough. You got to stream a lot. Right through Dimmu, that's legendary. We love Dimmu. Like Dimmu was literally the first person that rated me back in the day. I like to tell the story because I think nowadays there are a lot of people who kind of dabble in content and somewhat mess in MLB The Show. And it just takes that one rate or just that one realization that like, man, other people do this and they got into it a lot more because of it. It's very cool. Honestly, Dimmu was that dude for a lot of us. Which is so sick. YouTube Shorts, hey, I appreciate that. I gotta do some more shorts again. I got a short planned for next week, I think, to post on there. How to grind Immortals. Oh my goodness. I definitely, well, back then, watched at least a video on like the career arcs. The amount that I played that game, I was not getting any Immortals. I only got like a couple career arcs done, like Frank Thomas. I think Hanley Ramirez. I think he had a career arc or something then that year. That was it. It was kind of pathetic. How's a blitzball going? So far, so good. I will say, for the first week of this journey of trying to get better at it, I thought I was going to be embarrassingly bad. I am not embarrassingly bad. I actually see myself getting a little bit better.
1-1.
Which is nice, because, I mean, the way I don't swing the bat, I don't throw the ball at all. So I haven't had any way to just do that. Just getting into the routine of doing it and being able to realize, like, what I'm doing wrong and trying to get better is nice. I'm not going to be a blitzball god, I don't think, by the time a month comes around, but I'm excited to, I'm having fun doing it, and it's going to be fun to go out there and actually not just be a waste of space out there like I was. When we played last year, I think I got maybe one hit, maybe, because I was getting diced up by J Mills, and then I did not pitch that well because I was lobbing changeups. I didn't have it because I hadn't thrown like at all before then. And I played in terms of my baseball history, I played baseball for 10 years. I know I might not look like it because I'm not in great shape nowadays. And even some people see my swings and they're like, oh, bro, you've never played, these look like dudes who've never played baseball in their lives. I played baseball for 10 years. And looking back, I should have played more than I did in terms of like playing for like JV, varsity, school teams and stuff. I did enjoy it, but I didn't like competition being taken too seriously. I just enjoyed playing it. I just never really wanted to deal with annoying coach politics and stuff because our town, I felt like, was a bit in on that. I don't know if your towns had this in your little leagues back in the day, but we had these tournaments in the summer called All-Stars where coaches would pick like the best players and like the players that put the most into it to be on like the All-Stars team. They're mostly all the best players in the league and stuff. And I had gotten picked with that a couple times, but the first time I had, the coach took it very seriously. And we would play against other towns and they're all-stars and stuff. And the one coach that I had took this very seriously. I played second and third base, especially. But I also pitched a bit. I also played in the outfield. I was able to play wherever I was needed. It was just Little League, you know. But I really liked second and third. Lo and behold, though, his son played second base. So in that little all-star tournament, even though it was like a little bit more competitive, he took it a little too seriously. And he played his son like nearly all of the game. I'd play like the minimum amount of innings. I'd ride the bench most of the time. And it was one thing to just sit there and ride the bench and watch the team. I was good enough to be out there. His son didn't do crap. And that's not even me over-exaggerating. It's just that I didn't really get to play it much. And just because his dad took it very seriously and wanted his son playing all the time. And funny enough, the only reason this became a real problem to me is our team was actually going to win like the championship of that tournament. One of the towns near us was actually pretty dang good. And we like had like a 2-game series, or like I think it was like a 2-game series. And we were like the number 1 seed. So like we just had to win 1 or 2 games and then we'd move on. They had to beat us twice. We lost game 1. Game 2 comes around and we managed to have like a lead heading to the last inning. One kid named Nick is on the mound. For some reason, he has the yips, absolute yips, and he's walking everyone. And I sat there in the dugout just watching him like, oh no. And we had this lead slowly starts to dissipate because walk. It's your classic Little League situation. You know, sometimes kids can't locate the ball. That's what happens. Fine. He eventually gets to a point where he starts locating the ball. I think we had a point where we had like 1 or 2 outs in the inning. And guess what? Someone hits a routine ground ball to second base. The coach's kid. And you know what happens? Oh, it still gets me angry to this day. Where is it? Where's my glove? Routine grounder to second. Routine. Bends down, goes to go down, doesn't get his arm all the way down. It was like a consistent problem he had. The ball would always skirt below him. And it did that. It did that. And I had to watch, because this isn't even meant to be an exaggeration. My strength was fielding. I was a good damn fielder. I played so many video games, I actually had a good hand-eye coordination, I guess. I don't know. And I watched that kid fumble that ground ball. And then they'd come back and win. We lost. In large due part of the coach's son not fielding a grounder. And me sitting there on the bench, watching all of that happen. I was someone that was good at baseball. I was. Wasn't like incredible. I was never going to become like a pro or anything. But I made contact consistently. I played a few positions and was a pretty good defender at each of those positions. I was able to pitch if absolutely necessary. And I kind of just sat there and watched them blow it because the coach had his son at second. And then I did like the all-star thing one more time. I actually had gotten to play more that second time because the coach had a brain on his head. And past that, I was like, I don't know if I like the competition. And those are right around the ages where like you'd have like modified teams in middle school. And like probably right around, yeah, it was like right around that point. So like part of me wanted to try out because I knew I could have made the team. Because a lot of those kids who were on those all-star teams were on those teams, on like our modified teams. But I was nervous to try out. I didn't want to deal with the competition as well. So I just only did my Little League for 10 years. And I loved baseball. I played for so long. And I think I could have gotten a bit better than I was. I just didn't want to push myself too hard because I kind of got like, I don't want to say scarred, but that ruined it for me. That took that love away that I had because it wasn't about competition or it wasn't about your team. It wasn't about baseball at that point. It was just about people being annoying. So I did not want to deal with that anymore. So once I got old enough and, you know, there wasn't like a recreational league for me, you know, after doing a couple fall leagues and stuff, I just kind of stopped playing and never had played since. And it's kind of funny how I've made my way back into baseball with MLB The Show and making content on the game because like, I love baseball. I love the sport. I've played it. I think it's so good. It was such a big part of my life back then. I was a shy kid that didn't have the most friends, but baseball got me out of my shell a little bit. Nice play, Frederick. And I loved it. It just, that ruined it. And I think and some people when they come out and say, oh, Scann, you know baseball, you haven't played ever. Oh, no, I did. I just may not have played the love that you did, you know. There's a lot of like gatekeeping in baseball and amongst people who talk about baseball where it's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you didn't play this much or you didn't do this, you know? I love the sport just as much as anyone. And it's cool to be involved in baseball. And the fact that I haven't played in so long and I'm outside, like kind of practicing and trying to, you know, get a little better is cool. Because even back when I played then, I was never really like practicing and stuff like I did. I just went to my team's practices and that's all I would do. I never had equipment to like train on my own. Oh, it looks like it'll be our first game we lost, chat. Unless Luis Robert is an absolute hose. GG's. Why is that always such a universal problem? I think it's interesting, Lonzo. I mean, I understand. Like the thing is, I look back at it and it's like I could look at it now and understand why a coach like that does that. You know, he's maybe not thinking that's super high leverage. He wants his son to get better at the game. So he's like, oh, let me play my son there, you know? And a lot of times that's how it goes. It's just like they have that care for their own family or whoever they're related to, or it's the people that they know. And politics stinks, but that's just what sometimes it's like. Like I live in a small town here upstate. there wasn't that many people that love baseball. You know, you run into the same people, and someone knows someone. That's a lot of times what it takes. You know, a lot of other teams, like, they have parents and kids who have been on teams before. So, you know, when they go for the school team, they're like, oh, I know this dude. Sure. Yeah, and I talk to dudes like the Holy Grail, Mr. Gravy, or dudes are both that are coaching now. And parents, I mean, there is definitely that aspect of, like, parents want their kid to do well and give them an opportunity and all of that. It's such like a weird line, especially like someone like Day is coaching a really good team. Like, they're actually really good players, all of them. So when one kid isn't playing as much, it's because genuinely they're trying to play their best players, and what they're playing are more legit, and the coaches are really trying to push them to be better, you know? And like in our case, or even our little all-star tournament thing, it might have been like, that's how their parents are going to view that type of thing. You know, they want their kid to be given the best opportunity. So it's like you have a weird like line to balance. It's all dependent on maybe like your league or what you're doing. At the end of the day, something like a little league and stuff like that, you should just not care about that. And honestly, in that All-Stars tournament thing I did, it shouldn't have mattered. You know, in the crux of competition, and you're trying to be good, like for your school teams and stuff, you definitely want to give everyone an opportunity, but you also got to balance getting your better players out there, especially when you're really competing. Also, by the way, true to ATL with the sub, and Marcus is Hibby. I appreciate you guys. Sorry, I had those long tangents while we were talking. While we were talking, you end up subbing. You guys are legendary. Thank you. Very kind of you. We're 15 subs away from getting back to 100, and that is wild. I appreciate you all. I hope you're having a great time hanging with me. Parents complain about the playtime. Honestly, yeah. I mean, like, there is genuinely an aspect of baseball where if you're playing for like a team that's competing, if a kid isn't getting the playing time, if that kid wants more playing time, he's got to earn it. You know, that's just kind of how things go. So I feel like in baseball, there's got to be that sense of like, push your kid, like you got to get kids to push themselves, you know? A lot of times I think, especially when people are younger, you know, a lot of times kids just have the physicals, or they just have some sort of like a little bit more of a bar above everyone else and how good they are. So some parents think like, oh, my kid's doing all of this, that they get all the playing time. But like, there's some other kid who's worked harder, and someone who's actually training, and someone who's trying to get a little better for themselves. That I think, especially when you're someone who is like, especially when people are getting older, I think there's got to be a little bit of that push. For what I was doing, it was not meant to be that way. I loved baseball. I loved the game. In something that wasn't competitive, we had a coach taking it very seriously and just played his son the entire time. That ruined baseball for me in playing it. But you know, there was still something in me that wanted the competition. I enjoyed the competition, and honestly, I think I probably would have been fine if I had given it a go and played for my school team and tried to get better, you know? Because I never really trained baseball. I just kind of did my practice, and that was it. Oh. Oh, that's rough, Dr. Drew. Yeah, the chase packs are rough, man. Very risky. That's how packs go, though. It's one of those things where it's like, the nice part about the show is when you get the free packs. When you get tempted into a nice pack and dealing with the odds, it's rough. One big change of this year is that you've seen more value in like those chase pack cards. Like, people want those chase pack cards a little bit more this year on average. There are some more choice packs with cards that people really want. So that temptation is there. And it's like the packs are also more expensive on average, and it's an adjustment, that's for sure. Because like, yeah, I'm like, man, like the packs are cool. I really want the packs. It's like it's always so much more worth it to not deal with luck as much as it sucks. Or like whenever you go for packs, you only go for packs when you have extra stubs for the fun of it. You know, we ripped that one 60K bundle. We pulled nothing out of that. But we do it for the chase. We do it for the fun of the packs, you know. You kind of got to go into all those things and just accept that you have a very low chance of getting those things to work out. So you enjoy it when it does and just enjoy actually opening things. As weird as it sounds. Because honestly, packs, I really wouldn't recommend saving up subs and looking into buying packs for genuinely building your team. It's just be a fun side thing you do with extra stubs, I think. Try to have some fun here and there if you feel like you don't want to save up for other cards. Because this game does give you the opportunities to save up those stubs for some of the more expensive cards in the game. And that's definitely more worth it than taking the risk. It's tough to get used to, though. And it's tough to really be like, man, that's a tempting pack. I don't want to buy it. All money spent. Definitely all money spent, Blopey. I was talking about the tweet earlier because it was really just a joke about how I spent stubs to buy like Tatis and Ohtani for this cover athlete video I was planning. And I didn't talk about this on the tweet, but I ended up losing all those stubs anyway because I was buying and selling for the video. It was a mess. But there's been a lot of discussion about no money spent v money spent this year and all of that. And we've had a whole talk about that earlier because it's become a main part of the community's conversation where it's like, man, this game's really going down the path of EA. Man, this game's really taken away from no money spent. And the reverse. And it's a tough, finicky conversation to have. But I'm just trying to have fun with it no matter what. Even if this might be a hot take. I don't know how people feel about this take. Last year, all these last few years, one of the common things that we've said as a community is that choice packs and like even chase packs were neat packs, but there was not enough incentive to even consider getting them or buying them because maybe the card wasn't good enough or really worth that. Or those cards just end up only being collection fodder. It was a common thing that we had complained about as a community because you come out with a choice pack and you're like, oh, that thing's kind of not worth my time. And like that card might end up being dirt cheap right away, or the one occasional card would be expensive and become like a meta card. So it might be a hot take in general, but I somewhat enjoy having some valuable awards in packs. I kind of do. I enjoy having an expensive chase pack card because now when I go for a chase pack, I have that excitement of, oh, am I going to pull Joe Mauer? And kind of same with those rare round choice packs. Like, there are a lot of good players in there. It's just an adjustment from years past because in years past, we were so used to like, all these cards are cheap. We can get every card. And I'm trying to shift myself out of mentality of like, man, I need to play this game like the game in years past. It's different. It's really just about, let me save up for the cards that I want to for the long run with my stubs. Get a couple of them. Set collections I'm mostly getting done from offline grinding if I really want them. And it's really just about like targeting specific names or players that I like. And you can still have a very competitive team without those cards. While in years past, it kind of felt like over time, if you were making the top tier team, you needed every single one of those cards, you know? But it's also like, that's my perspective on it and where I'm at now because I've been so on that side of things for a while where I'm like, yeah, a lot of content just kind of feels like a waste in those pack side of things. I'm really like, I want to do this again. In about a week, I want to put out another tweet and have people comment their God squads. Because I did that like not that long ago, and I was really interested. I'm like, what teams are people running? What's like the average team throughout the different ratings people are running? And, you know, the amount of people that don't even have a chase pack card, the amount of people that maybe have like 1 or 2 of the set collection cards and rocking 97 overalls and stuff. It's weird because we're used to, with a lot of 99s being available, everyone running only 99s. But people are running, in a lot of cases, like their favorite 97s, a couple of 99s that they've really liked. Probably have like the free XP reward path 99s. And I think it made for an interesting lineup diversity. And like those teams are still very viable, especially for most players. It just, on the top 1% of the game, where you're really trying to play in like legend difficulty, I think is where those cards become way more of like a, not even a crutch, but like you kind of really need them. Or at least like one of them to keep up with some of the other God squads that are out there. But that's like the top 1% of 1%, where it's like, it's unfair to judge the whole for that. But also, it's a change because in years past, we're used to getting everything and getting all the cards, and us being like, you know what? I enjoy the game where I can get every card and build up the binder with whoever I want, and it's not even a concern. So, with that change, came with some downsides that I know some people have disagreed with. And that's been the tough thing to understand with this year because it's so different. But for me personally, where I lie, there are things I like, there's things I maybe don't like as much. But overall, I'm really having a blast this year. I feel like content has been really fun this year. Even though I'm not playing as much, I've had a lot of fun grinding content. Even with the offline content, you know, at points it gets a little repetitive with PXP. I'm overall having a fun time with it. Because at the end of the day, those are just like tedious grinds I'm doing bit by bit over time, not getting done always in one sitting, and getting set collection cards. Because that's what you're doing those things for. And then maybe dabbling in some theme teams along the way. Was the first cheese pack? Yeah, Otani was the first one. So chat, let me ask you. Can you type a 1 in the chat if you have bought and still use a chase pack award on your God Squad? Type a 0 if you do not have a single one of those chase pack cards on your team. I'm interested to see how many people actually go for and use those cards right now. 2. Oh. A lot of zeros. All right, so I guess here is a question. Here will be another option here. Now I did 0 and 1 for that. Type a 2 in the chat, where if you got that chase pack player, you really would want to keep it and use it. Is that someone you'd want to actually keep? If so, that's a 2. Type a 3 if you just happen to get that card in your inventory, that you just sell it so you have subs for other cards. Because one thing with a lot of this content as well, especially with how we used to play the game, partially why the no-sell ranked BR stuff, a lot of this game became, I'm getting cards to sell for stubs, and less about the cards themselves. I guess that's a big change with this year, where it's like, it's a little bit less of that now. Where it's like, if you're going to do those grinds where we'd get those stubs, you got to do if you want that specific player. Which is another change, which is obviously going to be a hit or miss, because people who like playing the other way, probably, they're missing out on that experience now. It's not the same anymore. And that's where a lot of the debate on Twitter and social media lies. Everyone lies differently in like how they use cards, how to play Diamond Dynasty. And with these drastic changes, it's going to make it more interesting for one type of person while making it less interesting for the other. And that's just kind of what happens with change, you know?
Ball outside.
Are you saying I should sell Mickey Mantle? No. No. That's a decision that's all entirely up to you. Also, my dude, so it's written with the 5 gifted. You absolute legend. Can we get some Scann love emotes in the chat for written? Thank you. I appreciate you. And I'll be honest, chat. even though like Tatis was a card that would automatically start on my team and Ohtani was a card that would automatically start on my team in set 1, I don't want them. Like, they're great cards. I just want to use other players. And especially for players of that value, not worth it for me. Mickey Mantle's worth it for me because I'm a Yankee homer. And center field has been like a position where it's like I could kind of use that type of player. So Mickey Mantle made a lot of sense for me to use for a good bit. But I also just sold him recently. So, like, the thing with those cards is there are a select few cards that are very expensive. And the fact that a lot of people don't have those cards, that doesn't make them a necessity. And also just in general, they're like one player on a team. I will say the only one that comes to mind of like kind of being an exception is like Ohtani. Because Ohtani had like the ranked glitch where you could use him at the bullpen with full energy, which was stupid. And that was obviously like a big impact because, you know, you'd pitch with the same pitcher every game and never have to really worry about pitcher energy ever. It was kind of stupid. But at the end of the day, it's always just one player, you know? And having like a very good team overall definitely matters more. And I feel like in general, a lot of people go for just the players namesake-wise they really like. Where if there's a player, maybe they've enjoyed him in years past, maybe they are just a fan of that player, they'll just go for their card. And as long as they have a good enough card, that makes it worth using on their team. And this option, this type of content gives you the option to do that now. Have a good day, my baby. Very kind of you. Oh, let's go, David. Go Yankees. All right. So one final question for you guys, since we're talking MLB The Show content. Just on a purely content perspective of the cards, the packs, the collection, type in a number 1 through 10. 10 being the best experience ever. You're loving every second of it. 1 being the game's miserable and you hate it. What would you rate this year of Diamond Dynasty content in this game? How much are you enjoying the game? In the content. With the gameplay and all of that. How about the content? A lot of 7s. That's an interesting, that's an interesting one. So 7 gives me the vibe. Like 7, 8 gives me the vibe that you're feeling positive about it, but there are also points of critique where it's like you're not enjoying it as much as you could. Something about it is making you not enjoy it as much. And then there's some people who are like the 4 to 3 side of things where they might be like they're still playing it, but maybe they're not loving it like they used to because some sort of change. The new content drops F's no money spent players. I would personally disagree because I'm basically no money spent because none of the players on my team are players I spent money on stubs for. I already did that for a video yesterday. But I can understand for certain no money spent players, it probably hurt the experience. I will say one thing of Team Affinity, like if you go back to LB 21, I think a lot of people like that content because Team Affinity was such like a breeze. And those cards would make up your team. You'd have a meta team at that point, and it was nearly even with everyone. And that was for no money spent players who were maybe not playing as much, who could grind every single card. That was really, really good for them back then. That was a big point that made MLB The Show separate. Also, GG's, by the way. GG's only. Did I play you, Loaf? If I did, GG's, dude. And I think just what we're talking about. What was I talking about? For a certain types of players, the experience is always going to improve or, you know, slightly get worse. And it all comes down to the type of player you are, I think. Like, this is a no money spent team, chat. I've been playing a good bit, though. I'm someone who enjoys the game and grinds a bit, but this is all grinding here. This is a God squad, you know? Obviously, you know, there are things I could do maybe a little better, but like, I'm going to compete with every team that I play with this team. But also, you don't need a team of this level, you know? Like, let's have some fun here. Let's build a team of players that is probably a somewhat reasonable grind between season 1 and 2. Monthly award. $24K on the market. Season 1 XP reward path. This is shortstop's an interesting one. There are a lot of good ones. We'll do that. Actually, no, we'll do this. One last card. One last card for the culture. DH card. This is a team that, in terms of the length of the grind, you've been playing pretty casually over the first, over the length of this game so far. Like, this is a team that's very, obtainable. And you compare that to the first team, obviously it's not as good, since there are some more 99s there. This team isn't that far off. And this team has one team affinity player, few XP reward path players, some monthly award players. It's a good team. So you can make a good team, definitely within reason. That's not that far off from like a super god squad. Of course, the downside is, if you're someone who likes David Wright a lot and you really want to use a David Wright, you're going to need to grind to earn this David Wright. But if you really like David Wright and just want to get his name on the team, you just use his lower overall that exists, you know? But it seems like, depending on how you play the game, if you just want to make a good team, you can make a good team. I would say this structure definitely hurts in some instances, because it's like, there are some players where it's like they don't have that card. Like Mike Trout, you're either paying $70K for him, which honestly isn't that much, but you're still paying that much. Or you want to use a Mike Trout card, you've got the live series Trout, which $100K. So Mike Trout's someone right now that doesn't have that affordable, viable option yet. So he's not someone that makes the most sense for that, you know? So like, I hope we see, it's interesting to see how this will go over time, see what type of cards we get. I feel like the benefit is you can make a good team easily and kind of balance the way you play the game based on how you want. But you compare it to years past, it's got some downsides for other ways people play the game. Also, Bloopy!
Bing bong!
With the 10 gifted, you absolute legend. I appreciate you. What's up, Thunderhawk? How you doing, dude? But yeah, and we're talking a lot about MLB The Show content today. Bloopy, I appreciate you with the 10 bomb. You absolute legend. We're at 100 subs again. You're a legend, Bloopy. Thank you, my friend. Can we get some scan love emotes for the chat for my dude, Bloopy? But let me just say this to wrap up this conversation, because content is preference. All I've got to say, and this is what I've learned this year, is in terms of MLB The Show content, the way that you yourself play the game doesn't reflect the experience for everyone. Everyone plays the game differently. So at least on the back end of things, when a decision's being made, there are probably a lot of factors coming into play. And while one thing helps out the way that you play, it might not help out the next person, or vice versa. So for me, I see a lot of yelling and stuff like the game's only getting better or the game's only getting worse. I think it's beneficial whenever discussing these things. Maybe share how you play the game and share like, hey, the way that this change is hindering this way that I play the game. Because I used to do this last year. I can't do that as well anymore, you know? And that's a valid point. I think that's always a valid point, because a lot of the times people are right about those things. But there's a lot of discussion of like, it's this or it's this. There's only one right way or one wrong way for everything. And I think it's a little bit more tougher to gauge in that. So in terms of the general discussion of MLB The Show content, I recommend just thinking about the different position that you play. And for me, It's been a big lesson for me this year because I used to sweat the game, grind every piece of content, do everything right away, play legend rank seasons, try to go flawless and BR all the time. And so I've taken a little bit of a step back. I started to realize, like, even just not playing a little bit less casually, I realized there's a lot of content to do. While in years past, I was like, oh man, content, there isn't anything to do in this game, you know? And that's just me changing slightly how I play and think about people who play very casually, who just pick up the first diamonds they get. The people who play and are not even trying to make the best team and trying to use the best the players they like. So that's what these things come down to. So I'm just trying to be really open with things. And I don't like, just honestly, I don't like all of the yelling and like the anger towards other people or the anger directly towards SDS. Because one thing we said for years is that things started to feel repetitive, and this is at least a change. And I respect them going for some sort of change, and some things might not always be for the benefit of me. So I'm trying to take a step back and be a little bit more open, share my feedback while not also assuming I'm only right or wrong. I'm just trying to be very open about things. I don't want to yell at everyone because I think one thing of content is right or wrong. And at the end of the day, if people like or don't like it, you got to respect their opinion, you know? And that's just what happens. There's as the community's growing, there's a lot of people who discuss these things. And I pull up too many MLB The Show tweets where everyone just like, it's just nonsense yelling in the comments. And it's exhausting to me to see. Like I'm personally debating like stepping back from Twitter just because of it. Cause it's like, I see so much yelling and discourse on Twitter. It's just like, it's gotten mentally exhausting to me because I'm like, I can't keep up with it. I can't be productive, you know? So it's just, I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to make the best of it. I share my feedback. I don't think content's perfect. I think a lot of the places people come from are right, but it's not worth yelling at each other. It's not worth yelling at each other, screaming onto the abyss, telling people that something's like right or wrong. I try to keep my discussions as little emotionally charged as possible, get my point across, listen to other people when they offer other insight, and keep it at that. I don't want to waste my time yelling at people because I got to a point where it's like I realize that it's just not worth my energy. Also, Glaber Homer. Oh, I gotta pull up the game. Also, I know I want to finish up that rant before I acknowledge it. My dude Arrow with the 5 gifted, you absolute legend. I appreciate you, Arrow. Blopey and Arrow coming in with the gifted. Also, a Wilmoth with the prime before. Thank you, my friend. You guys are very kind, seriously. I don't really stream much. Also, Chan for mayor. How did I miss that one? You guys are legends, man. Thank you. I'm really bad at reading the subs today. I'm missing them all, but thank you all, seriously. For a doofus who isn't streaming much, for you to come in and hang out and have a good time with me today really means a lot. Because at the end of the day, my goal with streaming is just to have fun with you guys, you know? When I was doing content like I used to, I really relied on growing streaming and sticking to a regular schedule and taking every number seriously because my living somewhat relied on it. But I'm at a point, thankfully, where that's just YouTube for me. We could have fun on streams and just vibe out. So the fact that we're able to hop on today, have a good time, talk MLB The Show, virtual baseball, get some free packs is really cool. If you're hanging out having a good time, I'm really doing all of this for the fun of it, and especially with these esports things, I'm doing it for the growth of esports. I want to go live in these weekends and commentate games when they're going. I think esports are really cool. I want to grow the game in a sense, you know? So all of you who are a part of this, you are legends, man. Thank you. And also, Gaia beat us with the 400 bits, you legend. Thank you, my friend. And yeah, I'm happy to be at a point where streams can just be fun. I used to get very stressed about hitting the go live button. I never really had. I got to a point where I got very burnt out on streaming. So to be able to come on and have a good time is it's great. I'm having a fun time. Also, I'm looking at this. Why did Stan like stare back down to the mound when he got hit? Did they like not think he got hit? I'm confused. Any tips on finishing live series collections? This is a general stub tip for anyone. For anyone who's going for like long-term grind cards or like collections where you need to buy a bunch of cards, here's the general strategy if you really want to be efficient with it. It kind of sounds stupid, but you want to play content with the intention of getting cards that you can sell. Getting in-game cards that sell for stubs is going to be the way you get your own stubs. And then don't use those stubs on packs. Only buy the cards that you need. So if you're someone who's going for live series collections, you should try to hyper-focus using cards that are free to earn, that you don't have to buy, and are cards that you can't even sell, because you get a lot of no-sell cards that are cards you kind of lock in on your team. So you build your team around the cards you can't sell, or maybe some cards that are cheap, like some of these boss cards. And then you use those cards to grind content that you can sell. At the start of the game, I sold every single thing that I could. Any expensive diamond duos, any packs I got in these programs, I sold them so I could use those stubs on the collections. And while there are some packs that are no sell now that takes away from some of that stub count, you also use these cards on your team and they're going to be very good anyway. So why you'd lose a little bit of stubs by not being able to sell them now. You build your team around these type of cards, then you grind for the cards that you can sell and sell them all, put all those stubs towards collections. And that's with everything. Whether you're going for collections, maybe you're saving up for that chase pack reward. I really recommend just play the game, grind out content where you can sell cards, and just sell them. And then use those stubs for the collections. And you might have to slightly sacrifice your team if you really want to get it done efficiently. But I think that's just the most efficient way to go about going collections. Or just saving up for expensive cards. 20 million XP? Yeah, dude. Freaking casual. How you're getting the reward? It's weird. The awards might not be registering in game, but they should be. Once you hit the claim button, you're fine. It just at some point should hopefully transfer to your in-game account. You see, I haven't gotten any of my drops yet. BR program. I took Frank. He's been disappointing. I don't know what about this card this year has not been as good as other Frank Thomases. Might be the fact I'm not facing too many lefties. Might be the fact that, I don't know, there's other good pitchers. The 107, 102 is good versus right, but it hasn't been good enough for me. So for me, I don't know if he's the best choice, especially with other good first base options like David Ortiz. I think a good safe pick is Verlander. Everyone could find room for Verlander in the rotation. Basically. You can't claim? That's interesting. Also, by the way, chat, the guaranteed diamonds did expire. That ended at 8 p.m. Those drops, but you could still get your other drops here. It's just those special drops we had for doing the the championship series. Those ended up kind of those ended up expiring at 8 p.m. EST. But we'll be live again tomorrow, so you can get that other guaranteed diamond pack, because there'll be another one that goes tomorrow, I think, during the same window. Wait, claim no, Diabetes. No. Longo gets 0 love. The only reason I've been telling people don't take Longo is because there are other good third basemen. Like Josh Donaldson's great for a boss card. Munetaka Murakami is very good. Not that expensive. Loved him a lot. A lot of people have Chipper Jones locked in at third base. But I will say this card is great. I almost took him out of spite. Because I wanted to use an Evan Longoria card. But I knew I was going to eventually get David Wright. I don't want to use Chipper because he's too mainstream. And I want to use David Wright. And obviously Jeter is not moving at short. He is an immovable force. So, there's no place for Longo for my team. I don't know, to be honest with you. The thing with the drops, it seems like no one's getting them right away. So it might happen early next week when they actually get in your inventory. But claiming them is the big step. But I have no idea when they'll actually disperse. It's very odd. Okay, yeah, and also there's a lot of discussion of Jeter at second. I get that. For me, morally, I can't do that. If Derek Jeter is going to be on my team, he is going to be the shortstop. As a Yankee fan, he should not be in any other position than shortstop. It's just kind of a rule. that would be doing him dirty doing this. I understand it does work. It does. He gets 89 fielding at Parallel Forge is wild. But I don't feel morally sound doing that. It's like, I don't know, like, I guess it would be like if a Twins fan got Joe Mauer and it played him at first base, but actually, no, that's not what it's like because Joe Mauer played him at first base. It just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right. I can't do it. He's my shortstop. Ignore your highlight. Oh no, I'm reading him Halo. I just don't care enough. Boom, roasted. The bench is where he belongs. You knock it off. You watch your mouth, buddy. Pozo raid shortstop. Stop. Stop. Let me change the title. I don't want the title to be deceiving. Oh, it is changed. W. We had us esport ambassadors, Yayo, Thuni, JX Gaming. I think that's all the guys who stream on Twitch who I covered who have the drops on. We had special drops for everyone in comparison to the drops that everyone else is all getting all the time for the championship series tournament that was supposed to go down today. So you could have gotten one guaranteed diamond pack for watching for an hour to start. But now the timer's ended, since the tournament was going to end around 8 p.m. EST. So now it's just normal drops that everyone else is also getting. So drops are still here, but there was like that special pack that you could get for watching 1 hour. If you didn't get it today, you'd claim it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go live during the same time frame. The drop should be on, and you could get that special drop there. Running center field. Good question. I actually might end up wildcarding Trout. He's been really good for me. Stupid good for me. And while I'm normally someone's like, everyone uses Trout, it feels like he's been too good. I might start off with Sammy Sosa. He's my only parallel 5 right now. I've had a lot of fun with him. I could plop him in center field and he'd be fine. Not the most ideal pick. I also might buy Mickey Mantle again by the time that time comes around. All I know is when season 3 comes, like, this team right now is mostly set 2 cards. So there wouldn't be that much change for me other than a first baseman, because I don't think I'm going to buy wildcard Babe. I don't think I'm going to wildcard Chipper. And probably some of the pitching staff. Like, I've liked Yu Darvish. He's going to go. I'm not going to wildcard him. Pedro, not going to wildcard him. And then I take out Alvarado, Gagne, and Devin Williams. Try Raffy. I've tried Raffy. Raffy's good. You're not wrong in saying that Raffy's good. He is a vibe. I just want to use you're Halo. You're telling me to try Raffy when I have a Met at third base. You're a fake Mets fan. You were clearly never a fan of David Wright. Fake fan. There's a DH. Well, that DH ain't moving. All right, let's play an event game with our normal camera going. And then we'll play a ranked game here after. Any of these new packs or bundles new? And, in terms of store, they're still the same as yesterday. But they do have some weird packs. So all of the packs have a chance of pulling like a special Kaiju player. They're like the 90 overalls, 97s, and a couple 99 overalls that are like have higher odds to be, or that can be pulled. Why did I disconnect? That have odds of being pulled in those standard packs. And there's also jumbo packs where there's a higher odd to get those Kaiju players and you get like 40 cards. And then there's a bundle for 60K that you get a chase pack, the jumbo pack, and then 20 of the standard packs. And those are the only things that are really new other than the Diamond Duo. Ooh, Juan Soto. I like that choice. Soto is fun. I want Soto to get a nutty 99 overall. I will tell you guys this. If Ronald Acuna gets a 99, he might be my lock in center field. I loved his 97 to start off the year. If you got a 99 that was like really top level, like, gimme. Oh yeah, Soto supercharged? Yes, he is. He had that 5-hit game. Whoa. Soto is nice too. I would love a Soto with just good enough defense. I will say, we have a point of conflict because when season 4 comes around and I get to get someone out from set 2, deciding between Hank Aaron and Randy Johnson. Hank Aaron and Aaron Judge. I don't care about Randy Johnson. Wildcarding one of them is going to be tough. I hope maybe there's another 99 Judge or something where I don't have to wildcard him, so I can wildcard Hank. But Hank is always one of my favorite players. I loved him back in MLB 21 and 22, of course. And Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. I want to use Aaron Judge. So I feel like I need to keep Judge, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what I end up deciding on as time goes on. I'll probably, when the wild card starts, like the new season starts, I'll probably be constantly shuffling that wild card, to be honest. Do you know when MLB The Show Championship Series will resume? Next weekend, I think they'll give it another go for the qualifiers. Hoping things work then. I don't have enough word on things, unfortunately. I think they need to work on things, see if they can fix things, maybe test things throughout the week. It's tough to really tell, but I would say as of now, probably anticipate things going next weekend. How does Supercharge work? Oh, for sure, Kenny. So, in real life, if a player does something special in like a game, maybe they have a very good game or something, SCS will supercharge their card. It'll boost that live series card, like their base series of card, to a 99 overall with like juiced attributes for that limited amount of time. So if you're someone who doesn't have that many cards or is like a player who did something really well, you can use that supercharged card, like Gold Juan Soto, since he had a 5-hit game, got supercharged to 99 overall. So it's a Gold Juan Soto, but you put him on your team, he's like a 99 overall. So it's like a fun way. Honestly, we haven't even talked about supercharging. Supercharge are honestly very viable this year to use on teams, especially if you don't have many cards. And they're a good way to try out some players at a very affordable price. There's a lot of times players who get boosted 99 overall are just a couple hundred stubs because they're like golds or silvers. Yeah, Ellie De La Cruz, that's a fun one. That is a fun one right there. I should try Ellie in the event here. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll throw the supercharged players on, because I think you can use live series players in the event, right? Outfielders play kind of shallow. On Xbox, they do. Like, for a fact, at custom stadiums, they play more shallow. Don't bunt dance me, buddy. I'll sweat. On Xbox, they play shallow. And that was the same last year, though. I don't know if it's the same on PlayStation, though. Their defense, they do get boosted defense. They've been doing that recently. But not everyone gets boosted on defense. So many God cards each set. Why can't they just allow us to use more than one card from previous sets moving forward? Yeah, they want to mix up the players. And, like, if you do something like that, then it would put too much of reliability on the old cards. And in my opinion, it might be really fun to have a reset. When you take out those set 1 cards, there are probably a lot of players who are still using mostly set 1 cards. Like, when you have that decision to make and those cards phase out, it's like somewhat emulating like the launch of the game, where it's like, okay, we're kind of starting from square one, got to start grinding and get those cards for the team again. And the fact that cards will actually be leaving is actually going to push people to start grinding for some newer content and try some newer cards. I think that'll be what's fun about it. I will say, there are a lot of people that play the game where they grind a card and they don't want that card to ever leave their team because they just like that card. This definitely hurts that experience. You can't keep everyone. But I think for most people, they could find one player they really liked that is like a set specific card that they could use as their wild card. There might be like 1 or 2 more maybe, and I'd love to see as we go, you potentially see 2 or 3 wild card spots as we get more and more seasons. But it leaves the door open for a lot of different cards to use and try when you're not locked in on using those cards. Like, for a lot of players, like Hank Aaron. I love Hank Aaron cards. You know, he's one of my favorites. When he gets phased out, if I really like him, and honestly makes some sense to wild card him, because there might be a 97, but if I really like Hank Aaron, that's that one special wild card for me. You know, a lot of people like a player, but if they get another viable card down the road, like if Chipper Jones gets a 97, that's pretty solid for a 97 overall, and people don't need to burn that wild card down the road, that might become interesting because now people are going to not wild card Chipper, use a 97 because if they really like Chipper, or they'll at least go for the 99 option that's relevant then, because mix up the team, try different cards. So it's going to be interesting to see how this dynamic plays. Should I go home? Oh, I had him! Ah! This is what you get for bunt dancing, buddy. Look at this. But yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go, and I'm interested. And genuinely, while at first I was very worried about, like, yeah, you put a lot of time, and eventually cards won't be used. A lot of people are getting a set collection card and really grinding to use that card in that current season. And even with this, if you use the card fully for one season, that is still a span of like a month and a half, give or take, right? That is such like a significant length of time in the game's release still. And as I think most people can find one player that they really grinded for, that they really liked, that's worth keeping and using as that wild card. I think that's kind of how it goes for most people, you know? $55, yeah, it's like it's a good amount of time. And like, you're likely getting that one card you really grinded out for relatively earlier on, like within the first 30 days probably. And you have like the length of the rest of that season and another full season. And you can still use that one as a wild card. The way I look at it is not thinking about the pure quantity. Grinding the pure quantity of content is worth it because you still need to have a very good team for that current season. It's just that thing you previously did might only be worth it for that one type of player. You really like that player, really want to keep using their card. Because there was a problem each year that will be the show of the power creep and, oh, there's going to be automatically better cards that come down the road. So a lot of other grinding might have felt pointless because you knew there was going to be a 99 coming. Or a lot of the other grind felt pointless because you had a player you liked and you just kept on using them for a long time. And that meant the other content afterwards is then pointless. You hit R2. Yeah. You hit the trigger to stop a runner. That is indeed how you do it. Also, Ruby with the 10 bits. Thank you, my dude. If you go to your drop section, Ruby, on your Twitch, it should be in the top right menu. You're on like a browser. It'll show you the MLB The Show campaign of like the drops. And on the bottom, it'll say connected or not connected. If you are connected, like you connected the accounts on theshow.com already, you're likely still connected. It just might not have put your drops in your inventory because like the dispersing of the packs is like slightly delayed for some people, like for me right now. Of course, Corey, I'm having a good time. I appreciate you hanging. I hope your drops treat you well whenever you get them. Want to keep playing? Please send help, Vance. That's how it would have been before. I mean, even I'm 100%ing things. It's tough. I really recommend to people. This sounds dumb. And, like, there are some people who, like, disagree with me even saying something like this because Some people play the game all the time, and they want every piece of content to feel exciting. And even when they're feeling slightly burnt out, like, oh man, there's gonna be more things to do. I want more. I honestly recommend to a lot of people taking a small step back, whatever that is. For me, that step back has been not playing much ranked. I have not been playing nearly as much ranked, and it's because I'm not live. I'm not playing much ranked in BR. I'm really just like doing like, not the minimum, but like enough offline grinding to keep me entertained. I'm not forcing myself to do it much. I'm grinding the offline content, maybe not day one, but within a few days of getting it. Just taking my time a bit more and just focusing on when I'm playing the game. I'm doing something that I want to, and I'm not just grinding something only to grind it. And that's helped me a lot mentally, because when I'm spending the time in the game, I'm still grinding content, building a good team, but I'm only doing it when I really want to. A lot of people get burnt out because they're playing so much of one way of the game, and like, it's okay that you enjoy that. But that burnout happens when you play something so damn much. It happens. No matter what, no matter how much content or incentive SDS adds for these things, it's like, that burnout happens if you play so much. It's like with any game, it's tough. So like me taking a step back this year, and it's a big reason why stepping back from streaming's helped me out a lot, because the stream, you got to play the game a lot, basically. I got to be doing something on the game every night that's captivating to watch. So me playing ranked made so much sense then. But right now it's like, because I'm not streaming, I don't have to fulfill that schedule of, oh, I got to play this game so much on stream. And it's helped me out so much more mentally. And I'm still grinding. I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I'm still playing a good bit, just not focusing so hard on getting everything done right away and rushing everything. I'm just taking a small step back, which has been nice. It's changed a lot for me. Events are burnout waiting to happen, you found? Yeah, for me with events, I just do them like this is like a legitimate strategy for anyone who is going by like set collections and events and such. Also, can Raffy Devers not be mean to the Yankees? Thank you. Playing the event to get the first rewards, like every reward beside the last award. Then the next event, you get the rewind pack and get that one reward along, and you just cycle with that. Like for me, like it's just a lot of times about like what, 10, 15 wins or 10 to 20 wins. You get 2 awards over the span of the length of an event. I do that minimum. If I don't really feel it, I also don't force myself. And I'll skip out on an event, and it's not a big deal. It really isn't. All I'm losing out is on one card. Worse than worse, I could buy another card for like quick sell, you know? If I need set collections and stuff. So I'm really not forcing myself with events. When you're really grinding events, especially going really deep all the time, yeah. That is definitely something that could burn you out. I will say, what would help is those alter ego packs. So some people do just prefer the events. And I think adding like alter ego packs and stuff like that at the end gives people that benefit of playing events if they really like events. Some people don't like playing ranked or BR. They like just playing events a little bit more casual, using the different teams. So they get like the 30 wins in the event, and that's like what they do. No, Lonzo Ball. I now get the team name, and that's actually incredible. It's like, yeah, it's like, I think in lots of cases, like a lot of us who die hard this game, we play so much, it burns you out. It's really easy to. It's really easy to get burnt out playing the game as much as we do. And I really recommend at least moderately slowing down. At least the bare minimum. Like, it's tough. Because a lot of us who feel exhausted of things play the game at such a crazy amount. And it's just unrealistic. And I've been having fun, like, dabbling in some other games. Taking some nights where I don't even play the game. And just playing when I want to have fun. Like, playing just whenever I actually want to. Like, I got to a point where I just grinded content so much where it's like... It felt like it was the job. Like, okay, I got to hop on the show. I got to do that content. That's just how I was doing content back. And it was like, oh, I need this new card right away. I've got to grind it. I just hop on when I want to. And have a fun time with it. What's a good tip to get better at hitting? This is gonna sound weird. I do have some hitting tips, but I have it unlisted on my main channel because I don't do that type of content anymore. But it's on my Scann Plays channel on a playlist. If you want to check it out, I have a hitting tips video from MLB 22. That would certainly apply to this, but there are two things with hitting that I think most people struggle with that I recommend, like off top of the head. One, get good at hitting fastballs. You've got to get good at hitting fastballs. When you take custom practice, like, you got to do enough custom practice on those higher difficulties so you can hit fastballs. If you can't hit fastballs, you're not going to hit anything. With how MLB The Show is, that is the best pitch to hit. You got to make sure when you're playing, you can hit it. You're timing it up. You can't be consistently late and just not timing up fastballs, or you're an automatic out. So you got to make sure you're practicing enough on and getting the muscle memory of timing up fastballs. The second one is once you start diving in a bit more, it is another redundant thing. It might sound redundant, but you got to read your opponent. A lot of people recommend the whole take the 2 strikes thing because it forces you to see what your opponent's doing. You make your opponents throw pitches while you're not swinging, and you got to focus on the patterns. Use the batter analysis. Look at what pitches they're consistently going to which type of hitters in which count, and look for the patterns. A lot of people just pitch in patterns. If you can find out what that pattern is and be ready for one type of pitch and one type of count, then you're making hitting a lot easier for yourself because you know exactly what the timing is for that one swing and you know what pitch is coming. So of those two things, you definitely want to make sure you're hitting fastballs, especially, and you want to make sure that you're reading opponents' routines, especially when we're talking about playing online. In terms of the general hitting tips, a lot of it is muscle memory. You got to build up muscle memory by taking swing after swing after swing and getting the timing down. Something like custom practice is great. Or just playing the game a good bit. Where if you're not getting timing down well, if you're missing PCIs, those are things that help a lot. But yeah, it's oh, I see you, Vance. You got all the showdowns done. Oh, you did the mini seasons? Okay, you're crazy. You did all the programs, the showdowns, you've done the mini seasons. Here's my question. Oh, did you do all the conquest maps? Oh my goodness, that's basically all the conquest maps. See, for me, Vance, like this year, I've sacrificed conquest. I have not done the USA map. I've put that entirely aside. That's one thing where I'm like, you know what? It's not bothering much. And same with the other conquest maps. I'm like saving them for if I need some PXP and stuff. But those are things I put aside. Not really that worth it for me. This man is grinding every piece of content. You're insane in the membrane. Ow. Oh. Oh, it is. It is Zen Master. Because when you play online, there's a connection involved. So with the connection, there's like a slight lag in things. So like usually in online, the pitch speeds feel faster because you have to react quicker because the pitch is coming in online and there's like the connection going on that doesn't have everything timed perfectly. And that's why the muscle memory thing is like big. So like you do your muscle memory in custom practice. When you're taking custom practice, you want to probably go up one level from the difficulty you normally play on. So if you play events a lot, take Hall of Fame batting practice. If you want to be ready for like a World Series push in ranked seasons and Hall of Fame difficulty, practice on Legend. You want to practice on Legend, play Legend difficulty, but turn up the fastball pitch speeds and over prepare yourself. It's almost like the concept of like the best way to kind of practice, especially with online, is like when you play baseball, you're in the on deck circle. A lot of people have the donuts on the bats. They throw something on their bat to weigh it heavy, to warm themselves up, to overcompensate for when they come up to hit. So that bat feels a lot more comfortable and it's easier to swing because they are swinging with the extra weight. In a sense, you're emulating that with the show. Like, you get used to the really fast speeds. So when you play online, it's like a cakewalk to you. It looks like a floater because you practice so much on the fast speeds. And you're better off, honestly, being earlier and not being late on every fastball and just slowing down instead of speeding yourself up. It is always tougher to speed up your bat significantly than slow it down. Most inconsistent. You know what? My guess, Halo, and I think you're a lot of how I used to be when I was like Hall of Fame sweat scan back in the day. When you play on Hall of Fame all the time, it requires you to focus a little bit more, and you have like a certain amount of confidence where it's like, you know, pitches you shouldn't swing at. On All-Star, the PCI is so big and the pitches feel so slow, you get too confident, and you're just swinging at everything, and you put up really bad swings. You're swinging at the pitches and putting up the swings that you shouldn't be. No, I did not have to jump to catch that. Judge did that automatically. Because he's him. Oh. Any suggestions to get sped up for online play? Yeah, I really think the best thing is, you notice you've got a monitor, Mike. You've got a nice monitor, and all of that, which is obviously the bare minimum of stuff. But I think past that, it just comes down to just like, you got to really overcompensate when you're doing your practice. Like when you're practicing the game, but before you play online, if it's a consistent problem you have where you're consistently late and you don't get that timing down, every time you hop on to play, take a little bit of custom practice on Legend difficulty, even turn up the pitch speeds if you want to. You want it to be difficult, and you don't leave that practice till you get numerous good timing swings. Maybe not perfects, but you gotta get that timing PCI placement down, warm it up a bit, and then you hop on, and now you're obviously overcompensating, but now your bat is ready. Your mental muscle memory is ready to react quickly to pitches. And once you get that muscle memory down, it just comes down to just adjusting to those speeds that end up being slower. And that reaction comes a lot easier because it feels like you're taking your time. Like, a lot of people who have like good monitors and stuff have tough time with like Hall of Fame and Legend timing because they're faster speeds than normal, than like All-Star. So maybe they practice on Hall of Fame to get that timing down, but they also don't fix the timing of like they still could consistently be behind the ball because they're only practicing that timing. I think you got to practice like a psychopath. You put yourself in a situation you're honestly never going to be in, but you practice that timing, you over prepare, so it becomes good. Like, I was someone I was always good at Hall of Fame, but wasn't great on Legend for a while. Like, I would play Legend, and I was pretty iffy. I never committed enough to it. And in one span of time, I decided to really take the time. I would practice and custom practice a good bit. I'd always warm up. And I've just kept playing Legend game after Legend game after Legend game over time. And I built up that muscle memory to time up Legend pitching. Like, for me, right now, like, I've played so much of this game over a span of time. When I play online, a lot of my timing, when I first hop on, I'm early on everything because I'm used to Legend timing. That's the muscle memory I've built up from swinging so often on there. So I feel like the best case scenario for people is just force yourself to play on that higher difficulty more often and like over prepare yourself. A lot of it, genuinely, it's muscle memory. That's a lot of it. Also, a little bit of insider info here. Oh, Willie Calhoun just hit a bomb. Ignored a fan. Fan definitely did not rob that. Don't even look at the replay. I don't want that to even be a consideration. Players with certain strides and certain hitter tendencies can mess with what your swing timing feels like. So this is the stuff that people don't know of as much. You know, in Diamond Dynasty talk, people are like, oh, this person is such a good swing. Oh, their swing is so great. There are elements of a player's stance, their swing animation, and their tendencies, if they're a pull hitter, push hitter, and even the amount of vision they have that makes swings feel quick or slow. And also, Swanee, I love your face. So when you're someone who's like, we'll look at a broad example. Trey Turner. Trey Turner is one of those universal examples. People feel like he has a very quick swing. They don't have issues timing up the ball with Trey Turner because it's Trey Turner. His swing is just butter. So yeah, his swing is a part of it. You know, the path the bat goes through is a part of it. But it's just one of the other normal swing animations. All the other swing animations fall into the same thing. But the way he strides, especially if you hit with strike zone views, the stride is very visible. You could see when his leg kicks up, and there is a subliminal timing of, especially when you're just doing buttons for hitting, where when that player strides and you could see that stride, it mentally times your swing. So someone like a Trey Turner and a Mike Trout lots of times are very popular players. People don't always know this because they have a very visible stride in their stance. They could see when the player is ready to swing, so they subliminally hit X and swing at that right time. While there are other players who are pretty universal with weird strides. We'll talk about Matt Chapman here. These aren't things for everyone, but for a lot of players, you look at Matt Chapman here, he's got a late stride. He picks up his foot significantly later than a lot of other players. So mentally, that if you're timing subliminally off this animation, it's tougher to pull the ball because you're mentally timing as if it's someone else where they lift their foot up, but he's lifting his foot up at a different time. So when you see people say tempo, you see some top players who do these tournaments refer to tempo. That's what that is. And I think a lot of people, I don't think they purposefully do it, but I think those are things that they notice when they're hitting, especially when you're doing buttons and you're hitting with strike zone. There's a reason there are common traits, commonalities that people love those cards. Like those guys, like Trey Turner, Mike Trout, Cedric Mullins, one of those guys. They're so liked by many people because of that. They have a very visible stride, along with them being pull hitters. Pull hitters move like that green window of timing slightly up, in a sense. So like Mike Trout on average is going to be earlier on a swing that someone is going to be a good on. Or I should say Mike Trout is going to get good timing on a swing that someone might get adjusted early on with some similar attributes. And along with vision reduces the timing windows. So in some cases, there's a middle ground of vision where some players who have very high vision, their swings feel slow. We'll look at Babe Ruth, for example, because someone like Mike Trout, since his timing window is slimmer, Babe Ruth will get like adjust early, lazy fly ball or something that Mike Trout with his lower vision wouldn't have adjust early. He'd probably have like an early. Same timing on the path, but he pulls it foul. So it feels like his swing is quicker because now you're early and not just early like it is for Babe Ruth. So like for anyone who is looking for cards, like this is why when I recommend to people, if you're really trying to make a very competitive team and look for players to use, you should look for players' swings that you like and the traits that you like and try to see if there are other players that are similar. Like Hank Aaron in many cases isn't as favorable for people. He's a push hitter. A lot of people like the pull hitters like Trout and Trey Turner because they have that element of the timing for them. So if you use a lot of pull hitters, the timing might feel a little bit more similar to them in comparison to a push hitter with a completely different set of timing. So if you're building a team and you're really trying to build a seriously good team, and we're talking about swing timing and timing up online, you should definitely look into the swing animations and the players you're using, because there are players like Mike Piazza, Johnny Bench. This Mark McGuire, I cannot stand his swing. I like the first swing animation. This young Mark McGuire swing makes me lose brain cells. He like loads up his swing so early and his foot is planted for so long. There's no timing element there. I don't know how to freaking time it. It's unreal. The attributes are nuts, but I just can't use the card. I can't time it. And that's just how cards go. It's like a weird subliminal thing that it's just how the game is. It's how our game works. Oh, it is, Bob. Yeah. He's the younger McGuire, I was able to tolerate more. The older McGuire, I was able to tolerate more. But younger A's McGuire, no. Judge over Sosa's crazy. No, it's not crazy, actually, because I'm a Yankee fan. And I like Aaron Judge's swing on average more than Sammy Sosa's. Sammy Sosa's been good for me. This man's an overswing king, though. So I feel like with Sosa, I've got to overly commit to inside fastballs. It reminds me of how people pitch Alfonso Soriano, where they really commit to inside fastballs. So I got to do that with Sammy. And I enjoyed him, but I also think Judge's swing is when I have more naturally down. How do you feel about David right foot down early? I haven't used him enough. I've got to use him some more online. I didn't like the 92 at first, but I started using 99 a bit along the 92, and I'm starting to get a feel for it. The takeover packs, good question. I don't know. The 1 hour takeover packs? I know, so in terms of schedule, every 30 minutes you're going to get the Kaiju Takeover regular show pack. And after 2 hours or 2.5 hours, that one you get is the special one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 more hours later, you get the other Takeover pack. The other special one. So you only get 2 of those throughout the span of time. So unless you've been watching for 1, 2, 3, 4. 2.5 hours. You get that first special one. But I also haven't gotten any of the packs in my inventory still. I don't know what's up with that. All right, shall I play a ranked game, chat? Let's play a ranked game. I don't know what's in the special one, to be honest with you. I do not know. Personally. You hate McGuire's swing and height? I understand the dislike on height, because it's especially tough to read pitches. But I always recommend trying players, because I do well with the tall players for some reason. I always do absurdly well with Judge and Stanton. I don't know why. But I do.